Hello, happy Sunday, everyone.
Hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. How's everybody doing?
How y'all doing out there in them streets?
welcome.
uh,
Oh boy, Whew. What a
it's
day. Yeah,
been
it's been a crazy week. But yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to say welcome to the God is Real and Well podcast. My name is Pedro.
my name is Tara.
This is the God is Real
Really
and Well
wrong
podcast.
podcast.
Why you just gotta copy me?
Cause we like twins.
No, we are not like twins, not in the least.
You
That's
know
the
they
last.
say the older you get, the more you start to look alike. Do we look alike?
No, I'm much better looking.
Mm, whatever you hate. Oh baby
Ah.
me.
Anyway, what you start looking like? No,
You do.
no.
Some people actually start to look alike. I believe my mother and father at some point start to look alike. Like seriously, they both of my parents was dark skinned people, but they was attractive people, and they start to look alike.
See, now that's where our church don't even think that. They call me white and call you black. So
Yeah, they do.
I
They
would
the
never
total opposite, isn't it?
exactly. So we're
Oh
never
my
gonna look
goodness.
alike.
Yeah. We
Mm.
may have features, because just because I'm darker than you doesn't mean we don't have features. I think our nose look alike a little bit.
You
Okay, no,
just
I take
you're
it back.
fishing.
I
You're
take it back.
fishing. Yeah,
I take it back.
you're fishing. Mm-mm.
Me fishing?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
I hate fishing.
You hate fishing. You never been fishing.
I know I never have, but I would love to go.
So how you gonna hate something you never done?
I know.
Anyway,
It's silly. Oh my goodness. But you know what's been wild? That we have been sick with COVID.
oh yeah,
You
that's why
know,
I keep drinking because my throat was like.
I can't drink because I promise you I have to go to the toilet every time you turn around. However,
The bathroom. Why you gotta say the toilet? No.
that's what they say over in the UK,
The
toilet.
toilet.
Or the loo
The loo. You
or
gotta go
something
to the.
like that. I was like,
Where's
what's
the
the
loo?
loo?
Yeah.
But
uh,
yeah, COVID had, you know what? I knew when I wasn't feeling well.
you did not know. Do not say
I
that.
mean, okay, fine.
Do
I,
not
I
say you
thought
knew.
I thought I was going through some real changes. I was like, what is going on? My body's going through some real changes. I was tired. I was, exhausted. I was fatigued. I was all of these things, and chills, body aches, and I was like, why am I? Because I knew it was always my time of the month anyway. So I thought I was like, oh, my time of the month is really going in this time, not really knowing that I was, you know, tested positive for COVID. Um, was Thursday? Yeah, Thursday I tested positive, and I was like, that's why I was feeling so bad. Because I remember putting a post up on Facebook talking about, um, how Kaya had to pretty much drag me up the street because I went to pick her from school, and I was hallucinating a little bit. I didn't know who I was, and she it was serious, and she was like, "Mom, come on, we almost there, we almost there." It was something else, and find out I had COVID. I didn't know COVID have you like this. Like, I'm a little hoarse, tired mostly sometimes, though I just want to sleep. But other than that, I just thank God that it ain't as bad as I guess it could be, you know?
Mm.
Because some people have really bad experiences of
Well,
COVID. Well, they had to go into the
I
hospital
can't.
and
I think
everything.
what do we? You had did a podcast for Renters Radio London,
Yeah,
and I came home
right.
and I kept coughing. I just couldn't stop coughing from the day. I remember I said I was like my throat was just. I had like this dry cough all of a sudden. It was just like like
Yeah.
and because of the heat and what it was you forgot to
Oh, I
mention
forgot we
because of
had
the
the
heat
heat
wave.
wave. Yeah.
So the heat wave
Really.
kind of really threw us off because we
Yeah.
was thinking maybe it was heat stroke or just from being hot because man we was burning up in this house. The temperature in this house was reaching like 90 degrees at some point.
It was off the
Yeah,
chain.
you were sleeping in the living room.
I was
You was
like,
like, why are you sleeping upstairs?
no, Pedro. The one thing about it, heat rises, okay,
Because my
and
bed is upstairs. That's why.
and I know the bed was there still, but the sofas are pretty comfortable. The fact that you was sleeping in the heat, I was like, I couldn't handle it. My
The first night, I
allergies,
don't know how I did it, but after that, it wasn't so bad. But yeah,
nah,
so we thought it was the heat.
I
So
did too.
then, like my throat just started getting itchy, not even itching. My throat was just I just kept coughing like, and I couldn't get rid of it.
Mhm.
Then they didn't even like that shows how comfortable we are with COVID because it never even dawned on me
That it was
that it
that.
was COVID.
Well, I didn't either.
It never
I
dawned
didn't
on me. It's
realize
not to the next day when I woke up and I had chills and I was achy
yeah,
and I felt dizzy and I felt all these things and I still went to work
you did. You was pushing
and
through.
I went to work.
You was
I
pushing
went and did like 3 jobs and then I came home and you know when I knew? You know
what?
when I knew I had COVID?
When?
On my third to last job, I had about a hour and a half in between the jobs. I got there about an hour and 15 minutes early
Right.
and I took a nap.
Oh, wow,
And I
yeah.
said to
And you
myself,
normally don't do that.
when I woke up, I said, you know what? I think I got COVID. And I was like, well, I can't test myself now. So I
Mhm.
went to the job and then I got in the car, drove home.
Right.
And as soon as I tested, came positive. Then you tested, you was positive. Then Sky tested, she was
If you
positive.
woulda never tested yourself and, and
No, I
said
would have tested at some point because
I'm
I
just
was
saying I
like,
didn't. I didn't even think to, but I knew when Sky went on her field trip and they went to Flamingo Land and she was called me and was like she was unwell. Well, she was kinda unwell before she left, but she pushed through. But she was
mm-hmm,
like, "I just wish I woulda stayed home. It wasn't even worth it because she was so, out of it. So when I tested her, it came back right away, boom. She had COVID or whatever. But she didn't bounce back pretty quickly. She
yeah,
was
she's
down
fine
for what, that
now.
24-hour mark?
No, she was down for about 48.
48? Oh, right,
Yeah,
yeah, it
she
was
was down for a
48.
couple because she didn't have the shots.
Yeah, she didn't have the shots yet.
Um,
But she bounced back pretty quickly, I must admit.
you took longer because you can't handle pain.
I just know my appetite has really changed drastically.
Mhm,
I had my first initial meal today, and it still make me feel a bit nauseous at the stomach, but other than that,
mhm.
you know, I don't
Well,
think I'm gonna rush
let me
into
get a
food.
garbage can or let me
No,
get the bin.
no, I don't think I'm gonna rush into eating any more full meals until my stomach get this woozy feeling out,
I
you
bought a
know.
whole bunch of fruit, so go
Yeah,
ahead.
the fruit does help. I will admit. I haven't tried those flat peaches that you bought. I said, "What's this?" But something must be something British. A flat peach that you bought today. I mean, the other day when you at Tesco.
Uh,
Yeah. But
hold on.
anyway, it seemed like fruit is the only thing that's holding my stomach steady, as of right now because we've been going through like
Well,
I never would to be honest with
I
you,
never
I
lost my
knew at
appetite.
some point
I
maybe I would have
just
had COVID. I guess I just didn't suspect for it to like creep up on me like it
yeah.
did. It creeped up on me like a thief in the night, you know. And I was wondering why my body was so out of whack. I was like, "Geez, what is going on?"
Mm,
But I was like, the best part about this, maybe I'm wrong to say this, if I lose a couple of pounds by not eating that much,
stop it. The worst
I
part
would be
about it is that
happy.
I'm stuck with you all day.
Listen, whatever. We separate ourselves too, I
I
told
sure
her,
did. I came down here like all day yesterday
yeah,
because you
and
deaf.
well, I
You
like to
deaf.
watch
You
my
can't.
shows.
Yeah, you had them blasting like you was deaf. I was like, I don't feel like hearing no noise. I was like, I'm gonna go downstairs where
Well,
I sit in the
that's the
dark.
joy of having a bigger home
That's
because
right, and that's why I
you're
want a
able
bigger house and
to
remove.
a bigger room, so we won't
Sure,
have to worry
I came,
about,
sat in the dark,
being all caught up. Because I like my space. You best
looked on my
believe it.
phone
As
and
much as
watched some YouTube stuff,
as
church
much as I
stuff,
like
and
you, unlike you sometimes, I
whatever.
still
No,
like
wait. You're lying to these people because you was telling my son, calling me up to my son, I miss you, and I was like, yeah, I miss you too. I'll talk to you later. Click. So whatever. You
whatever. I think space is
lying.
important in marriage, you know what
It's
I
very
mean?
important.
So
Yes.
your space
Because you
is
was irritating
important.
me with the noise, man. And because you know what you do, Tara? You would have the TV on blast, and then you have your phone on too.
Peter, I could do what I want to do.
No, you can't do what you want to do if there's another person in the room,
Well, you
Tara.
wasn't in the room, you left.
No, that's because I left because you wasn't going to stop, even if I was in the room. And that's why I'm like, why do you have all this stuff on loud?
Peter, it doesn't bother me. That's how
Well,
I can
guess what though?
multitask.
No,
I
it's
can
not
do
my
more than
no.
one
See,
thing.
you have to be compassionate
Compassionate too. What?
to
I
your
was compassionate. I
spouse.
was compassionate when you left and you saved your own space. You had your own space to yourself. And with this COVID thing, we have to be, like you said, compassionate. You go into your space, I go into my space. Because us being in the same room sometimes it's just I say something and you get irritated or something like that.
They're saying that they on, but I don't. We don't see them. So I'm
Okay.
just trying to maybe you can send him another link.
Okay, I'll send them another invite.
Okay.
So you have to keep talking to the people. Hey guys, hi everyone that's watching. Tell us who you are, if you're watching, where you're from, and all of those good things. And we want to know who's listening, who's watching. It's Really Raw podcast because we like to say hello to our viewers who are listening. We like to see what's up with you guys, what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know, it's
like I said,
important.
man, shucks. Now I
Hmm.
forgot what we was talking. Oh, we was talking about how you always be blasting stuff because you're deaf.
No, but you know what? I do need to go get my ears checked on my right ear. I think my right ear has kind of gone out of whack.
I think it's more your left, but that's
I
just me.
don't know. I know what's going on. It's my body. It's my right ear. My
Excuse me.
right
When
ear
I'm
is
talking,
going.
can you hear me right now?
Yes.
That's only because you have the inner ears. If it wasn't
Whatever.
for that, you wouldn't hear nothing.
Whatever. So, guys, also I wanted to mention on my Facebook page, I did an interview today with Rare Hope Show and Invictus Radio London here in the UK. I did an interview where I was talking about my music and my song and where you can find it and all of those things. And I just want to say, I just want to thank everyone for purchasing my song who has purchased it. Thank you so much for that. It's really going to go towards a good cause for me to then go and do my EP. So I'm really excited about what God is doing. So if you haven't purchased my song, which is on bandcamp.com, bandcamp.com, you can go on Bandcamp and purchase the song for $3, £3 in the US. I mean £3 in the UK and $3, right, babe? In the US. You can
Yes.
go and purchase the song and listen to it and hopefully be blessed. It's one of my first songs I've written that I actually put out for the world to hear. So
Also, we just want to also well, good evening, cuz we wanted to say one thing
good
too.
evening.
People don't like to talk about it, but we both been vaccinated, being shot three, both had 3 shots.
Mhm.
And I'm not telling people to get the vaccine or not to get the vaccine. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I know that when Junior got it, he was down for about 24, um, 40, about 24 to 48 hours.
Mhm.
And when we was down about the same, I was down for about 48.
I was down for a couple of days,
Well,
but
that's just
nobody
because.
noticed that I was about to
Oh,
die.
stop! No, stop. Excuse me. I went to work. I
I,
drove over almost 200 miles with COVID, and you talking about because you have to walk down for 5 minutes and walk back?
why
Stop it!
I hate when you
Stop
put a
it!
time limit on my walk
Stop it! Because it's
distance.
walking.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? I have to that
walking.
but Pijo, if my
Ah,
daughter had to
it's
push me, drag me up
walking.
the street,
Anyway, like I said, I'm not trying to diminish it, but you just
you
keep
are
bringing.
trying to
You
diminish
keep telling us something,
diminish my pain.
and I keep
Cause that's
laughing
what
at
you
you.
doing. You
I keep
diminishing
laughing
my
at you.
pain and it's not right.
I keep laughing at you because you funny.
No, Pijo, I really
You
was
would think
I was
you was
losing
gonna
it.
die.
I was literally I was doing it.
Are you dead? Or are you here?
God kept me here
God kept you here. Thank
because
God
we
for that.
all have a
That's
purpose.
right. And your purpose is to drive me crazy.
Whatever. Thank you, Frederica. Frederica says she purchased my song. I know she did. She's a good family member who purchased my song. And I had other family members to purchase and good friends as well. So thank you guys so
Hey,
much for
Jacqueline.
purchasing. And she said it's a
Thank you
beautiful
for
song.
joining
So
us.
thank
Yes, we
you.
see you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm answering the email.
Yes,
Like,
email.
there we go.
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We're gonna be talking about some good things tonight with
Anyway, yeah,
Mr. Osei and his
Miss,
wife Tone Daniels. They're gonna
uh,
be joining us quite soon. And
yeah, we was just waiting for him to join, and so
yeah.
we talk about the COVID. So, like I said, well, by now, you get the shot, you don't get the shot, don't really matter. I just know that getting the shot definitely helped us because I know a couple of family members that didn't get the shot,
Mm-hmm.
and it took them a couple of weeks, and I know I've known of some people that had the shot but still passed. I know some people that didn't have the shot and passed. I mean, I'm not saying it for that reason. I was just mentioning that, I just know that us having a shot really helped us to recuperate a lot faster than any other time if we didn't have
Yeah.
it.
But now they talking about this monkeypox thing. I don't
Oh,
know how to
Todd, stop with that.
well,
That's
I'm just
just
saying it's here.
stop. just you just always gotta go right to the negative.
It ain't the negative, it's the truth. We have to
It's the
face
truth.
reality.
It's reality. It's like COVID, right? So now it's gonna be another pandemic.
Let me tell you, when I told you that COVID was real and you talking about it wasn't
I
real,
didn't say monkeypox.
boom, it
I
hit
ain't
us.
saying it's not real. I'm just saying,
Well, I'm
like,
just
stop.
letting
You
you
going?
know
You
that this
stop.
monkeypox thing is
Yeah, stop
serious.
reading Google. Google's not your friend.
I was not on Google.
Or stop reading
Somebody had told
Facebook.
me about it.
Facebook's not your friend either.
Anyway,
which
let's
is
bring our
which
guest
is
on.
actually funny. I don't even use Facebook, but I have to use Facebook.
Okay. Well, we have to use Facebook for what we're doing because we're reaching people near and far.
Wait, Jacqueline said you funny, Tom. I'm not funny,
Thank you,
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. I
What
know
the
I have
heck?
a funny side to me. I'm like a comedian.
Nah. All right, let's get to the thing.
Let's get our guest on
Let's
here
get to
because see,
Osei
you
and
about to
Tony.
bother me.
You've been bothering me all weekend.
Okay, so we guys, we about to bring in our guest. Is it? Did it pop on? Oh no, I didn't add
You gotta
the
add them.
screen. Hi guys.
Hey
What's up,
guys,
everybody? What's up, y'all?
we good.
Hey,
We
how
good.
y'all
What's
doing
going on?
today?
What's going on?
Okay, yeah, she's shooing the dog
I
away.
tried.
We tried to keep the puppy in, but she's gonna act up. So we said she gonna be okay while we're having this great podcast with you guys tonight.
Oh yeah,
Oh, no
definitely,
problem, no
definitely.
problem.
You've been busy man, Osei.
Yeah, man. All I know is that in 4 weeks I'll be done with my coursework for my masters. That's all that matters. That's it.
That's
I got four
amazing.
weeks,
Hallelujah.
and man,
That's amazing.
it feels unreal, and I still have to do my counseling hours to actually get my degree. But in my mind, I'm done.
Right.
To me, the counseling hours are going to be way easier than the coursework, and
Yeah.
working full time and speaking occasionally and writing and podcasting and everything else. So I'm looking
That's what I'm
forward to being
saying.
done.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about you've been podcasting.
Mhm.
You did a series this week that I was actually trying to be on, but like I said, that's the night I called COVID. So I was sitting there waiting to get on because I'm a night owl. So I was
Yeah.
actually up. It was like I'm gonna get on. Next thing I know, it's 1:45. I'm like, oh man. I was like, man, because it would have been like 1 o'clock in the morning for me. So I
Mm.
was ready to get on there and everything, and then I wasn't feeling good. And I just went right off to sleep, and I was like, oh man, I missed it. And then I saw you preaching.
Mhm. Yep.
And then
Spoke yesterday. Yeah.
you did Command Hins Hines. I can
Mhm.
never say his name, but I'm
Yeah.
bad with saying
Kimon.
people's names.
Yeah.
Kimon Hines.
Kimon Hines.
You did
Yeah.
his right. You did his podcast. I saw that, so I
Mhm.
was like, man, you just been working it, boy.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, Kimon, he's our business coach, and he is
Right.
excellent. He has a tons of experience, and he helped me put together the workshop that I did this past Wednesday. So, but the good news, Pedro, is that we're gonna do it again. There was technical difficulties where basically I didn't know how to use Zoom and I didn't record it, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do it again this Wednesday. I'm
Right.
trying to figure out what time. What time? Because I know y'all
We
are
have to do a
5 or
different
4.
version for the UK folk.
Yeah.
We want to make sure it go along with, and hopefully we can get our new friends from the UK to hop on and to check it out as well.
Yeah,
And
we have to do it like
what you
on
think?
a
'Cause
Sunday. It would have to be like their time afternoon.
Okay, so you guys are 5 hours ahead.
About
5 hours. Okay. Yeah. So y'all is 9 o'clock. Yeah. So, yeah. So maybe, in fact, maybe I'll do it next Sunday. Yeah, because today will be.
Like maybe 12 o'clock our time.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna
Would
send
that
y'all.
be a
We're
good
gonna send
time in
y'all
the
some
UK?
information. What do y'all think? Because I'm gonna put it out. Because I'm gonna have. I want everybody to come join me on Zoom, and so we can have some real engagement on there. But
yeah, but
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We'll talk about it and get it straight.
Yeah.
Definitely. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah. For some reason I can't hear myself. Oh yeah, that's a little
Yes,
better. All right. No problem. I'm sorry. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah, definitely. You turned it down.
Okay.
That's why. That's cool. It's cool. Yeah, definitely. Because I definitely want to get on there. I'd have got on at 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm up anyway. So it would have made
Oh,
a
right.
difference.
But yeah, I'm glad. We're so glad you guys are feeling better. We had our
Y'all
bout
have had me
of-
cracking up
of
for the last 30
COVID.
minutes.
Yeah, to hear y'all stories and going back and forth about the trying to navigate COVID.
Man, listen,
Oh,
man, she get
man.
on my nerves, and I love being by my wife, but man, because we can't be like Kai don't have COVID, so she's in the living room. and she's
Mhm.
been sleeping on the couch because my other daughter's sleeping in the room by herself.
Right.
So, and then my son has his room. So Kaya's down in the living room. So Tyler's spending all the time up in my room.
In your
Mm.
room.
That's right, my room. That's
It
my
Here we go.
sanctuary.
You hear him?
Here we go.
Our room.
Yeah.
You rude.
That's my sanctuary. You know, that's my peace and quiet. And she's disturbing my peace.
Y'all hear that, right?
But nah,
Here we
nah,
go.
right.
He's starting stuff today.
I ain't starting nothing. I'm telling the truth. But
Careful, Pedro. Careful.
man, listen, I've already stepped over the bounds already. I'll
Yeah,
say
you
nothing.
did. He really did. He's already passed. So at this
I'm already
point, there's
past.
no
I
there's
can't
no
stop.
losing.
I'm at the point of no return. I'm at point break. I'm at point break. I'm already past it. I'm done. But yeah, but definitely we're really excited though. This is the last final installment of you guys actually. Well, it won't be the
Mhm.
final installment. I'm sure we have you on again.
Oh yeah,
But
trust
this
me.
is the
This we
final
y'all gonna have
installment
to have it today on for. She got
Oh,
something cooking.
boy.
She not gonna say it, and it's usually her me not
What you
saying something,
got?
but
What you got?
she got
What you
something
got?
cooking.
What he's
And
talking
yeah,
about?
trust me, this yeah,
got
she got
something
something cooking, and it's gonna be for people that are ready to transition. Good, is it?
I am working on something. It's for people who are looking to transition that are like in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. It's the corridor of change. It's the people who, due to the pandemic, they've kind of revisited life and like, okay, so what is this? Why do I do this anymore? Why am I still a nurse? Why am I still a whatever it is? I'm not knocking nurses, but you understand, like I've talked to nurses and that's kind of what some are going through. Like, why am I still a teacher? It's really the people who were most impacted during the pandemic have found themselves kind of rethinking,
Right.
It's the people who were home who then everything opened back up and okay, why I gotta go back in the office? But I hear you, but why? We were productive, so why? And it's those whys that I believe that people didn't have they didn't. Oh, Osei's gonna fall out the chair when I say this. Their why wasn't strong enough for them to question their employment's why.
Right.
So your why before wasn't strong enough, but now that you've been home with your kids and you've been able to like really foster a relationship, better relationship, or they're doing better in school. Some are, some kids needed more social activity, but certain personalities actually thrived at home. Why am I leaving my kids?
Right.
Do I make enough to leave them? Because gas is so high and rent is so high, like everything's so high. So is my money really helping us? So it's for people who are going through that. Why? Typically you have to be late 30ish, 40ish, 50ish. You have had to live a little to have those whys. Does that make sense? I know Gen Z could be listening and saying, but I have whys. You have whys, but your whys, they're different. They are, why did I get this degree? And that's an important why.
Yeah.
But right now, my target are the people you've been working for a while. You are seasoned, and it's okay, and it's good to be seasoned. It's not like I hate this whole discrimination of age discrimination. We're starting to see 45 and up at work. But that's so that's what he says. I have cooking. It's an executive coaching business that I'm starting. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, we will be looking forward to that.
Definitely.
And definitely we'll be touching base with that so you can come on and talk about that.
Absolutely. I'd be more than
Support
happy.
them.
Osei can't hold water when it comes to me. He
You
is
just like
like,
that.
Oh wait. You
he's
said I'm
like,
about
"Ooh."
like what?
I say you like that.
I'm like what?
I say like
Oh God, look at these
Oh,
two.
you,
Look at
you.
these two.
Wait,
Y'all been y'all been together too long. Y'all need a break during COVID. This COVID has not been good.
You can't hold water, especially if you come with the children or anything. You go and tell right
See their
away.
face. If you go further
That's what
back.
you say. You're right. Don't
I had it
man,
set up.
this.
You didn't like it.
You like a waterfall, girl. You just open up and
oh, there you go.
like a
It's not
dam
good. It's
that can't
this.
hold, like a
I
dam that's
know. That's the
broken.
point. We trying to look in the camera.
Yeah, I get it.
Now, you guys are talking about us. Look at you too.
No, we get out. We're trying to talk.
We just, I'm trying to set it up, but yeah,
He keeps changing this daggone setup every single time I
I
come
don't
here.
change it. Just adjust it. Just a small adjustment.
Ah,
But you're on that side, so
can't see her face.
okay. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Let's get started. 'Cause,
No, she's doing
always
something on logic because she's trying to record, right?
Oh, there
But
we
it's
go.
playing.
Okay.
She's
But you
playing
can't see her face,
something,
can
but
you?
It's okay.
So I didn't.
Is that what it was?
No, that was
You good?
Okay.
Yeah, we good. Sorry.
All right, we're good too. Cause see, I told you my wife is deaf, right? My wife is deaf. I ain't saying nothing you don't know.
Don't talk about my
You are
deafness.
deaf because I'm telling you.
Are you deaf for real? Do you have a hearing loss in one of your ears?
I think
Yes.
in one of my right ear, my
Yes.
right ear.
Okay. So I'm not smiling and laughing at you. My best friend is like that too, and so we're jerks. Oh my gosh! I think it's her. I think it's her right ear, and
Yeah,
we
it's my
didn't
right
really
ear.
realize it until we were on a trip with her, and she was like this, and just ignoring us. And I said, "Is this chick?" I didn't say that word. I said, "Is she ignoring
Some choice words. Choice
Listen.
words.
Listen.
Amongst friends.
and I was like,
Oh my goodness.
she couldn't hear nothing. Her eyes were closed, and she was like, and so every now and then
That's
we
her.
do jerky things. We're like,
That's my
come on,
wife.
Helen. Come
Oh,
on,
no. You
Helen.
call her
We're
Helen?
terrible.
call her
So
Helen?
Oh my
forgive us.
goodness.
Listen,
We
my
are the
sister,
worst.
my
Oh
sister
my
didn't
goodness.
believe me. I told my sister, I
I
said,
love
"Look,
you,
Todd
Erica."
can't hear." Listen, my sister said to me, my sister came to visit. She was like, I was like, yo, like Todd can't hear. So if you're talking to her, make sure you're looking at her. And she was like, what you talking about? One day she's talking to Todd from behind, and Todd was ignoring her. And she thought she got offended.
She
And
wasn't
I said,
ignoring.
told
She
you.
couldn't hear.
I was not
And
ignoring
when she
her. I
went,
really couldn't hear her.
and Todd was like, "Oh, you was talking to me?" She was like, "I've been talking to you for 5 minutes." I said, "I told you."
You got to get on
she
the good
can't
side.
hear.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to get on the
My
good side.
goodness.
And actually, you know what? No, it isn't. Maybe it's Erica's left. It might be her left. Yeah, because when we go places, we always have to position her where she can hear us. Like, you sit on that side. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness, Tara, I'm so sorry.
That's
It's
fine.
okay.
It's
It's
fine.
okay.
We all got that friend.
He is
We all,
rare
ashamed.
form. He's
we do all
rare
have
form
friends.
today.
We all have friends that have. I'm not saying this it's bad. I'm just saying we all have friends like that.
Yeah.
You know what? Look, let me tell you that nod. Look, I know that nod. That's that wife nod. Like, all right, have your fun.
I hear you.
I hear you. Have fun, cause we're gonna have to get off of here,
being
and
like
you're gonna
this.
need something. That's that. Like I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got COVID, so it don't matter.
Oh, he put it on. Oh,
see how he
I was
did?
out of my mind.
Recovered.
I had COVID, baby. You know, COVID it messes with your brain. It does, but
No, that's facts though. That is facts.
Oh my word.
Okay,
I don't know what we're gonna get done today.
Let's get to.
She's just gonna get a whooping after this show is over.
I like what.
I'm afraid. Oh no! See, he's in rare form.
Yeah, he's-
He is ready for you today.
Don't be throwing with things I like.
Oh
my
no!
We are on the Real and Raw podcast right now.
Oh my god.
That is
Tell
it.
him you're not gonna cook this week. You going on strike? Act right.
What about this?
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Okay, okay. We're gonna get to the we're gonna get to what we came to get to
I
today.
know better.
So as a friend of mine says, let's put a pin in it and let's get
Oh,
to so Osi.
my jaws hurt.
Kindness defined. We had talked about your book some months ago,
Mhm.
and you was telling us the synopsis. But for those that maybe not have heard it, could
Yeah.
you like tell us how you came to it again? You know, tell us the whole beginning of it and everything.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. We got to turn the
Oh, your
fan off.
ceiling fan.
She's
And you
hot.
got a
Yeah.
I'm
ceiling
cold.
fan.
I
Lucky
love my
you.
wife, but
Well,
Lucky you.
it was. I
But you
felt
know
like
what?
it was
That's what I was
loud.
hearing.
y'all,
It
y'all,
was. I was
It was
trying to
loud.
figure out
y'all,
what
y'all
it
can
was.
hear it. Okay.
I said,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
loud.
Okay.
Turn it off.
Yeah. Well, Kindness Defined is my first book, and it's summarized as identifying the difference, highlighting and exposing the difference between what's being nice and what's being kind, and
Okay.
how to be how to say no with a smile, and how to experience the life-changing power of kindness. That's it. That's the book summed up, and it's my heart, it's my life story as a former nice guy to share and expose how we need to make the shift from being nice to being kind. There's a significant difference that the
Right.
book brings to light, and I share my personal stories. It's very honest, it's very raw, but it's authentic, it's real, it's funny, but it's very
Right.
practical at the same time.
Right, because before you were a pastor of a church, wasn't you?
Yeah, youth pastor.
You
Yeah,
were
youth to
you
young
pastor, right?
adults, and yeah.
So
Mhm.
as growing up with a pastor's as a pastor son and a Bible instructor's mom, um,
Mm.
I know you had to learn being the difference between nice and kind because a lot of times you was probably being nice and not being kind to yourself because you was trying to please
Yeah.
everybody.
It
So
it
you
it's
have
so
first hand experience when you say like you're taking it from your personal experiences.
Yeah, and again, growing up in church, we would go and do things for everyone else, and it just reminded me, growing up. I think we all know the verse, and I'm looking at it here. Is where is it? It's Matthew chapter 22, and it talks about the difference between where Jesus talks about that we are to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. But a lot of
Yeah,
times we focus primarily on loving others, doing for others, serving others, which is not bad, but if we leave the other part of the verse out of it and out of the conversation, and we don't include what that looks like, it gives giving practical examples for the people and how to live that out and how we honor God by doing that, loving ourselves as we love our neighbors, not to the exclusion of either one. That's
right.
where we become into problems, and then we fall into the nice category where we do things where we are focused on being a human doing as opposed to a human being. That's the difference. When we focus on doing for others, then our being nice is transactional. But what God wants us to do is that we are to be kind to ourselves, then to others, thus will birth the transformation that He desires out of kindness.
Mm.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. Um, what I want to
I'm
ask you,
very
and
proud
I
of
think I want
him.
to ask you was, so can you tell us how can you be kind? How would you
Ah.
say we can be kind?
I was watching the TED Talk, and this sister broke it down. It was a doctor on one of the TED Talks. I was really researching and trying to understand what other people's perspective on kindness was. She
Right.
said, I'm gonna say her name, Rachel Nichols or Lisa. I think
Oh,
it's
Lisa Nichols?
Lisa Nichols. I think she's a popular speaker and presenter, and she
Motivational
said
speaker.
something that really spoke to me. That we are to fill our cup to until it overflows, then we are to
Yes.
serve others out of the saucer.
Yes,
Mm.
And so
and I
when
think
you
I like that.
yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Pedro.
that's a great point. No, I'm sorry. It's funny you said that because I was actually watching a TikTok or something today, and a lady had a bottle of water,
Mm-hmm.
and she started pouring the bottle of water. She took the cap off, she
Mm.
put the cap here, she started dumping the water into the cap,
Mm.
just dumping the water into the cap, and saying we give all ourselves to other people. And then when it was empty, she turned the bottle upright, took the cap, and then this is what we get back from people. And then she put, it was just like a
Mm.
drip of water, and she said, and
Right.
you got to learn not to do that. You got to learn, to manage that better. Because if you're giving all yourself to other people and they're not returning it, you're doing nothing but hurting yourself. I'm sorry. It was just when you said that, I thought of the same.
No, it because people are starting to understand the deficit that we put ourselves in. But see, the challenge becomes with religious circles, and some of us from our faith background, is that we have been trained up and taught to serve others, thinking that we are honoring God. But what happens is we serve from an empty place. And when we serve from an empty place, then we are in our mind suddenly, subconsciously, again, focus on being a human doing, that if I do enough more or do more good than bad, then in God's eyes, I'm doing okay. Because we believe that God's economy is based on, okay, I'll say he did 10 good things today, but he only did 7 bad things. Okay, he's doing good today. And we feel like God shines on us because we have 10 out of 7. But all of a sudden, what happens on the days when we do 10 bad things and 4 good bad, you know what I'm saying? We flip it. Then all of a sudden, does God no longer look at us the same way?
Am I a bad person now?
It's dangerous, and it's very subtle because it's culturally a norm, and that's why we get it confused with being nice and being kind. I believe things should be described as nice. People, and especially those of our faith background, should desire to be kind, and kindness is God's love in action with boots on. The practical side of what that looks like is that we are God's hands and his feet. We sing about these things. We praise God for that opportunity, but we need to land the plane, and it needs to be as spiritual as it is practical in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
And the only thing that I would just say, it's not just our faith. It's really, I think it's 2 possible groups. It's people of any faith, because the majority faiths have this issue. I don't even Muslim. I can think of many religions, and that's the issue. It's not a walk with your God. It's a walk based on religion. Do you catch it? A walk based on religion says, I did this today. I did that today.
I'm a good person.
I'm a good person. I'm a good Hindu. I'm a good Muslim. I'm a good Christian. I'm a good... Yeah. No. And I think that we can also find it. And as a mom, you tell me if you see this. I think that sometimes we kind of land the plane there for our kids. And now, hear me out. The school does this as a reason to get kids to do things. I get the point. But you know how you'll have like a thing up. Let's say you have the chores on the refrigerator. Right. And if you do your chore, you get a star. Right. And if you don't do the chore, you don't get a star. Oh, right. We already get the kids in this. If I get stars, I'm good. Right. There is a way for kids to learn discipline, get the stars, but understand that even if you don't do it, you're still good.
Right. You're still loved and accepted
you're still
by
loved
me
and
us as your parents.
Your doing has nothing to do with your being.
Right.
Yes. And I try to teach my kids that as well.
I'm sure you do.
I really do, because I think it's important for our kids to know that I expect for them to do certain things, but if they can't do it, I'm not going to be upset if you don't. How about we try it together next time and see how you can do. So,
and we're yes.
Different measures,
And we're upset. A parent is upset based upon the action. As long as we're clear on our words, it's not I'm upset with you. It's mom is a bit upset that this was not done.
Right.
Do you catch that?
Right.
Yes.
Not that I'm upset with you as a person. Kids don't understand that. No. They will take it as their being. I am the worst person ever, and and more so because I was reading this book. It's the book, Men Are From Mars. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Right. She says that we prepare our boys more so to be in this oh, I made mom happy, got a gold star. I made mom happy, got a gold star. So they bring that same thinking into their relationships, and thinking that they have to measure up and get things and do. A lot of men, and Osei will agree with me, get stuck in the doing.
Oh man,
in their relationship and not in the being.
Yeah.
Women want you to just be respectful, just be loving. Not necessarily, okay, it's good that you did that, but I want your being to be loving towards me. I want to be accepted fully, not things,
Checking
not
the
doing, not
boxes.
checking a box.
Yeah.
But boys, they do well with checking boxes, know.
Yeah.
And so many.
Am I off the mark?
No,
or?
you're absolutely right, because so many men, we default to, I put food on the table, the bills are paid, the car's in the driveway, it's working, you have gas in the tank, so we check, but we miss out on the connection that our wives and our spouses desire from us, and the emotional and spiritual connection that they thrive on, and we miss that, and then we get so frustrated because we are just is really ignorant. We are really ignorant of what our wives really need, because culture, and even again from the faith background, has taught us to be human doings. I'm really stuck on that, is that we get stuck on human doing as opposed to being a human being. And it's subtle, and that's why the difference between being nice and being kind is so important. That's why I'm so excited and proud, and it just really encourage that God put this on my heart to bring it to the table, because so many of us think that, oh, I'm a nice person, and nice does not translate into being closer to God than anyone else. But kindness is a result of the in-birth of our relationship with God, and that is the outward expression of the inward connection that we have with God, is kindness.
Yes.
Because we basically be nice to people to please people.
Uh-oh.
Not really
Uh-oh.
to, not for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You can be nice, like, okay, I'll do it. But you really,
I actually had a quick question.
you really don't want
Do
to
you
do
think I
it.
was checking boxes when we first got married?
Did you?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
He going started.
I'm not starting. I'm asking a question, because I think I was doing. I thought I was doing that, because that was
You're
part
very inquisitive.
Yeah.
Yes.
right. I'm because when
you was
brought
really
up-
nice when you was dating. You was
No, I wasn't
so
talking about once
nice.
we got married. Then I wasn't like, I would be like, I'm working. The car is there.
Yeah.
Like everything they say, check.
Yeah, you do that.
No, you're not listening. See, she's not even listening. I didn't say do I do that now. I said was I.
He said
doing
when you first
that?
got
You was doing that
married,
before.
when you first met, when you first
I
met.
didn't pay no attention, honestly.
Oh Lord.
I didn't.
It's like
I don't think you. I honestly don't think you did. I didn't think you was checking boxes.
I think I was.
I didn't think you was doing that.
So maybe he was checking boxes, and he's admitting to it now that he was checking boxes. He's realizing in himself that he was checking
That's what
boxes.
I was saying.
And what he's asking is, did you see what I saw? But you didn't see it, but still doesn't take away that he was still checking boxes. He probably was.
But I'm saying I was checking boxes, and I think that's a beginning of our marriage. That was a lot of the issues that was causing issues in our marriage, because what you just said about how a woman doesn't want a man is checking. He wants, like, I was listening to another story, and a couple have been married 49 years, and the wife and the husband said to the wife said to the husband, the thing she loves about him, that he's always paying attention. So like, he knows that she needs her glasses. So if he see her glasses and she's about to leave out, he'll take her glasses and put it on her purse, because he knows that when she leaves, she's gonna grab her purse. So she'll always have her glasses there for her. And that's what he loves just the little things, just noticing the little things.
That's
You know,
important.
What I hear her saying is that she likes that her husband has studied her, and he's learned her habits.
right.
And
That's
it
all.
sounds like it's not it's not that it's transactional. So we can be transactional in our relationship. I'm laughing because we have a word that we call it in the house. Tit for tat. And then I go, and then he's like, "Well, I'll walk the dog, and you that do that." And when I'm really irritated, I go, "Titty chat," right? so,
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so,
Oh
and
goodness.
so,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we do it to each other.
Again because we recognize it, and it's so again it's so subtle, but it's everywhere that we look. Every corner of our lives, in our education, in our workplaces, in our culture. We looking for the transaction, because this how you know that it's transactional, is that where you're being nice is that when you do something for someone, you really care, you
Right.
really want to do it, but what happens is that when the opportunity comes for them to do it and they don't, and all of a sudden those feelings rise up,
Oh
that's
yeah.
how you know it's transactional, and
Oh yeah.
you
You're
were
like,
being
well, I
nice
did this.
initially.
It's
Mhm.
like, wait a minute.
Wait, I did all of this. Why are you not returning them, or at least doing little? Like,
Right.
I guess the message
Right.
is, if you're doing something for someone, don't look for something in return, because not everybody gonna be able to give what you giving them.
hey,
Mm-hmm.
And that goes for your time,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but also your resources. I say, and I don't give. Hey, Beverly, I like the dress, girl.
Yeah.
That goes for money. So if somebody says, hey, I need da 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 da, I say, and we consider it a gift. If we
Yeah.
give to someone, it's not a borrow. They
Yeah.
can give it back if they desire to.
Yeah, they used to. Yeah. Mhm.
Because when we would give something to someone and they said that it was borrow, and then they don't give it back, then you're upset. So I'm trying to avoid the anger in me. And
Yeah.
boy, oh boy. And so I just say, amen.
Right. We
You know,
bless them.
we
We
bless
bless
you.
them, and
If
That-
they give us, they give it. But as far as I'm concerned, it was a gift.
we're the same way as a couple. Like we are blessed people, and we're blessed situations, and we never like they be like, oh, can we? We're like, no, like because we always look like if we're gonna, we don't do it unless we can do it. So that's the one thing right off the back. We won't bless unless we know we'll be able to bless, because
Yeah.
you don't want to bless and expect it to be back in return.
Mhm.
Because
Right. It's-
Yeah, then you seeing them and you're like harboring hate.
Yeah.
Right. So we bless, and then we say, all right, you know what, and that's it. We just leave it at that, and we don't even think no more about it and stuff.
Right.
Because the way I find sometimes too is like when you bless folks or you do things for other people, and I don't do this for that reason, but I just find that God always blesses you in another way.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Always blesses
We-
you another
we-
way, right?
Yes.
You know, things is God has blessed us in so many different ways. Is I can't even count. Like just random stuff. Just like what? Why? Like where did this come from?
Right,
Why
right.
did this happen?
Mhm.
And we don't. But you don't even. And you know when you're doing it for the right reason, because then you don't say to yourself, well, because I did this a year ago, I did this 6 months ago, I'm getting blessed for this now. Because you don't even remember it. Because a lot of stuff
Yeah.
we do, don't remember it. Just do it.
'Cause you're not
and
expecting
let it
anything.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't expect
Right.
let it go.
Mhm.
Just
It's
let
a
it go.
powerful, it's really a place of maturity. It's a place of joy. It's a place of freedom where you don't have to keep remembering and keeping a tally of
Yeah.
who did what for who when, and I did this for them then, and so I deserve to have this come back. And it's so much freedom. That's what I believe God truly wants us to experience, is that freedom, not only socially but in the one thing that jumped out in my research and putting this book together was that physically, kindness has so many beneficial aspects to it that we don't really connect it to kindness, but feel it. What's the word?
Philosophically?
No, physiologically. There we go.
Physiologically, I didn't know where
Kindness
Yeah.
is literally transformational, because the body, when it what I call it is the triple threat of kindness, right?
Right.
Break that down.
Where
Break that down. Break that down.
Yeah, so there's the triple threat. Like we would teach, I would coach basketball. Me and my boy Kojo, we would coach high school basketball. We would teach the young men the triple threat. When you catch the ball, you should be able to dribble, pass, and shoot at every time. So if you don't catch it in the wrong way, if you don't catch it with the right posture in the position, then you should be a triple threat to attack the basket, pass it to the open guy, or attack it with the dribble, or take the open shot. You have to catch it in triple threat. The kindness, when we walk out of our door with the triple threat of kindness, this is what happens. is that kindness is so powerful, is that when you see the act of kindness, the body releases neurochemically serotonin, oxytocin. These are things that increase happiness, increase energy, increase lifespan, increase pleasure. But then at the same time, witnessing it, it decreases pain, stress, anxiety, depression, and blood pressure.
Yes.
These are all the things that kindness does. Watching it. Then when you receive it, the person receiving the act of kindness, they also get the benefits and that the things increase energy, happiness, lifespan, pleasure. Then it decreases those for them. Then the person
You talking about the blood pressure and stuff. It decreases.
yeah,
those
decreases.
things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the
Right.
person watching also gains the benefits. They didn't do anything. All they did was witness it.
Oh, they were a
They didn't do
bystander
it.
of
They didn't
kindness.
receive it, but they were
Yes.
a bystander. They also get the same benefit.
Wow.
That's how powerful and transformational. And it's one of those things. Kindness does something where you never forget the time and space when someone did something kind, like was out of
That's
the norm. Like, whoa.
That is so true.
That was a moment right there.
Yeah.
We all can think right now on this podcast, and anybody watching in the comments can say, I remember a time when someone was kind and it just blew my socks off. They were kind to me, or I witnessed it,
Yes.
or I was able to do it for someone else. You never forget it. That's how powerful it
don't.
is.
You don't.
But in being nice,
You don't remember people being nice.
Nah.
no.
No.
You don't.
So that's the beauty and the awesome power of kindness. That's what I'm just motivated. We're motivated to continue to be channels of blessings where God blesses us, so we can continue to place ourselves into position to bless others. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Can I ask you a question? So with
Yeah.
the kindness, so like you say, you go out and you have the three different phases of kindness. In that, when you're like that to somebody, and they get that kindness off of you, they can feel that kindness off of you. Like in my personal experience, I feel like I'm not. I think I'm pretty kind to people, but I only say this because, like, with my job, going into people's homes that I don't know, the response that I get from them, I think when you're kind to people, you get a certain response back. You get that kindness back right off the back, because they don't even realize. Because some of these folks are kind of mean, or they got a little attitude, or they're upset. And I could see just talking to them and just being kind to them and just respecting them. After a while, you could see their wall going down, and they stop being kind and talking to me. And I don't even think they realize that they're, like you said, like that I'm doing it to them, and then they're returning it back, and they don't even realize they're returning it back, because then they'll sit there and be like, I don't know why I'm talking to you like this, or why I'm telling you my whole life story. And like, oh, I guess, maybe I'm just that type of person, like they get confused. You can see they're racking their brain. They're like, why am I telling you all of this? Like, why do I feel so comfortable talking to you? I'm like, I don't know, because I don't want to be like,
powerful.
I'm being kind to you. I just, I think when you do that to people, you get it back on you. You make your life easier, because when you deal with people, they will deal with you in the respect that you give them, or the kindness that you give them.
Yeah.
It almost overflows them, that they have to be kind back to you. Am I
Yeah,
saying
and
that
again,
right?
you're saying it right, because the motive is pure. Because
Right.
you're not expecting it back, but by
Right.
default,
Not.
it's a spiritual principle in the earth.
Yes.
What you sow, you will reap. That's
Yes.
what it is. But we always talk about it negatively. But what God is trying to encourage us and focus us on is that when we give kindness, I've built into the ways that the world works, just like gravity. Kindness has a way of returning itself back to us without
Yes.
us expecting it. It's the expectation that God wants to leave to Him. I'm doing this without expectation and trusting that God will make it happen and come back to us in the way He chooses. That's the beauty about being connected with God. And that's where it could be life transformation. I'm just thinking about opportunities that we've had, Anthony and I, when we would go out, we made a shift. He said, you know what? And see, this is where it gets practical. And I can't,
Go ahead. Go ahead with
Go
it. Go
ahead.
ahead
Go
with
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
I get excited about this because I really get excited because I like to step on toes of those of us who claim to be Christians, because sometimes, and we've heard from our daughter Brittany, and she because she used to be I want to say waitress. Is that the right term?
She's been a waitress, but she's
Yeah.
also every now and then a bartender.
She's been a bartender,
Yeah.
right? And so she's serving on her feet all day, taking care of people, getting them what they need, et cetera, et cetera. And usually, from her experience, the people that are the worst tippers are those that call themselves Christians
in black.
Oh, yeah.
and that look like you and I.
Wow. Wow.
It's
first,
embarrassing.
It's first black folk,
Oh, my goodness.
the
Yes.
worst, and then black Christian. Oh my gosh! Like if she
And then
was
they'll do rude stuff like write on the check, write a
You wrote that?
comment, and then leave. Don't even
live like $1. God bless
right, like
you.
God bless. They even dare to write something on there and then not try to bless it. Just And so we all laughing because we know how some of us are. It's
Oh, yeah.
embarrassing. And so
Oh, yeah.
what we've taken the opportunity to do is that when we go out, we choose to give at least a 50% tip every time.
Yeah.
At least.
We ain't been out in a minute.
Now we gotta be wise now. This is what I'm challenging Pedro. This is what I'm challenging us to do. If we really believe that we're blessed to be a blessing, either when we go out, we should be able to afford to bless. I'm talking about bless them and just or we got to go home and,
Or we
and
can
cook
work
from the
up.
house.
We can work up to 50. Like we don't have to start with the 50.
I mean, you talking about like just straight out give someone $50?
No, 50%.
No, 50%.
Off the-
So let's say the
wage
check
is
is $80. Let's say the check is $80. We'll give a $40 tip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. My good girlfriend, the one that can't hear in the ear, Erica, she gonna be like, you jerk. She gonna talk about me so bad. She gonna be, she listens to this. She be like, jerk. I wasn't listening to it, and I just happened to turn it on at the time that you were talking about me. But she said, Tony, I was talking about this tipping, this tipping, and we went somewhere. I think it was her daughter's birthday. Yeah, last year. And
Our goddaughter.
she looked at me and and she was doing the tip, and she said, so how much am I supposed to give? And and he was like,
I didn't go in. We didn't go there telling her to do anything.
do
but
what
she
you
asked
want,
us.
but if you asking me, 50%. So she said, I think I came up like at 40% or 35 or something like that. She said, so it ended up being like, it was a big bill,
Yeah,
but
it was a lot
I
of
think
us, yeah.
that
It was like
her
7 of us that
tip
night.
was like 100 and something. Can't remember what.
Yeah.
But it should have been, I think she said it should have been 150, right? Like, right. Okay. So she gave like 125 or something like that, right? She said a couple of days later, she went there was a light festival in DC.
Right.
And she took her baby, right? It was her husband, and Kieran. Hi, Kieran.
Right.
Shout out to Kieran, our
And
goddaughter.
so she said when we got there, it was expensive to go in, and then we went to get something to eat. Now when you go to these parks and eat, it's like they are robbing you.
That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money.
They are
take
literally
all the money.
robbing you. She said it was the end of the day, and it looked like they were wrapping things up, right? But the park was still open, right? It wasn't closed.
Right.
She got the food. It was very expensive, and the guy, she was like, "Okay, how much?" He said, "Have a great day." She said, "Wait, what?" She said that doesn't. So her brain was like, I don't understand. How much is it? He said, "Ma'am, Merry Christmas. Have a great day."
Wow.
And she called me the next day. She said, "Tony, I believe now. I believe it. That she said, I wish I gave 150. I remember her saying that.
Yeah.
Now I wish I gave the 150 because
Yeah.
when it came back, it blew me away."
Right.
Like she said, if I had given the 150, man, what even better would have happened if I had done that, and it wasn't that she was looking for it, she wasn't looking for it.
Right.
It makes you think of people that what if people did that with their tithes and offering,
See, Tart,
What
listen,
if
listen to
if
me,
I'm
Tart.
just saying, if people did that
Well,
with their
I'll
tithes.
I'll say this. I'll
Mm.
say this about tithe and offering. Now,
Mm.
tithe and offering, because I know where she's going with this.
What? I was not going
I know where you're going
anywhere.
with
Uh
this.
oh,
I know
uh oh, uh oh,
we're
uh oh. Oh
discussing it.
boy.
We're gonna get in.
We're playing marriage
We're
therapist today,
gonna
okay?
get married there. No, but I'll say from experience. I used to
Mm.
watch my mother and my father, and
Hmm.
they will give tithe, and then whatever they would give tithe and offering, and then they would double it.
Mm.
No matter what, they would double it. And I will say this: if nobody don't believe in anything else,
Mm.
you should know better. But I'm telling you, the amount of blessings, like where my parents probably had $10 to their name and they needed to go to the store to get stuff for the daycare, and then all of a sudden somebody just show up to the house with an envelope and say, God or the Lord told me to come by, or I just have this feeling that you may need this, or somebody
Mm.
give
Mm.
me a bill out the
Yeah.
blue, because my mother had a daycare, and the amount of
Mm.
time that when you thought that it was down to our last dime, and then all of a sudden a flux of income would just pop into the system, would just be there, and wouldn't
Yeah.
even know where it came from, or just people helping or bringing food by, or this or clothes or toys or anything, just any, like, the amount of times I can't even like count how many times that happened, by just doing that. And that's just, we're not even talking about tipping, we're just talking about tithes and offering.
Yeah.
Right.
So my mother,
Right.
my father were blessed so much from then. And I said to my mom, why do you do that? She said, because God will bless me later. I know, and
Yeah.
she wasn't doing it for God to bless her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just feel that she just felt it was her part of doing it,
Yeah.
and that it would work out in the long run. So even if it took away from paying a bill, or, well, she made sure the bills are paid, but you know what I mean. Even if it
Mm-hmm.
made
Mm-hmm.
that she's not gonna have that much money left over, she would still do it no matter what. She'll always double it, no matter. She faithfully did that. But she may
Yeah.
still do it to this day.
She
Actually,
probably
I haven't
still do.
asked her,
Knowing your mother,
but
she
knowing
do.
my mother, she probably still does.
Mm.
Yeah.
You still do that? But yeah, but yeah, I'm like, so I definitely agree with that. But with the tipping part, I give
Mm-hmm.
20%. I
Okay.
don't know about I could try 50, but but Tyler tell you I've always been. Tyler thought I was crazy.
Don't start with that.
Wait a minute.
Go to 25.
We're not
Now
gonna
Like,
go.
we
no,
telling
no,
y'all what we
no,
do.
no, no,
go
no,
This.
no,
slowly
no,
up.
no, no.
You don't do
No,
it
I
too
said
much.
I said I no. I always believe in tipping. I've always believed in tipping. I've always believed in service than tipping the person, because that's how they get, especially like a waitress
Mhm.
or something like that. You tip because that's how they get their money. I've always been
Right.
a firm believer in that. And not doing
But
it. Go ahead.
take it outside of tipping.
Mm.
It's a movement in your whole being of kindness. So for instance, it's not just tipping, it may not come out in the tip. It might be it's like you're walking out the door and like, okay, well, God, I'm okay with being a vessel for today. And if that vessel happens to
Seeking
come out,
whatever opportunity looks
if
like.
that opportunity happens at the grocery store. I've been at the grocery store where
Come
there was a
on.
young woman in
So,
front of me who looked like she had her wick, and she looked like wick, the cards.
Yeah, I know what wick
Well,
is.
they have it different over there, but
Okay, yeah, but they've been
I
here.
remember Wick though.
oh yeah, y'all understand. Okay.
And
It used to be
so
the paper.
wow, I
It
was
used to
in
be the
the
paper. You can only get cheese, milk, or
Peanut
say,
butter.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
it had to be Wick. It had to be Wick approved. You couldn't get it from
Right.
Wick.
They've changed it though.
Yeah,
It's changed.
Oh, yeah?
they've expanded
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've
That's back in the day.
expanded
That's
it.
back in the day. See, I'm back in the day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, so, it might be a person in front of you. It might be an older person. It might be whomever. There are times I believe that the Holy Spirit speaks to us.
Yes,
Are
I
we
agree.
listening?
Mhm.
And it's like, I'll just pay for the person behind me.
Right.
And I'll just say, hey, put that stuff on my thing. I might be out eating, getting lunch,
Right.
and I'll pay for the next person behind me.
Right.
I've been several times going to get my nails done,
Yeah. Yep.
and
Yep.
it's somebody beside me. And oh man, I remember one time I said, "Well, I'm just gonna pay for her feet," because I
Right.
thought she was just getting her feet done. And
Right.
then I saw her little self trot over. I said, "Oh, she getting her nails done too." And then all of a sudden, the giving became it felt like something. And then I had to work through that. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm giving, I'm blessing you. I'm blessing your socks off. So
Right.
I whispered over. I said, hey, I asked her.
Right. This is important. Go ahead. Yeah,
I
that's
said,
important.
I don't know you. We're not even sitting beside each other. I ain't said nothing to you, but
Right.
I believe I was told to bless you. So, can I pay for your feet and your nails to be done? And she looked at me. She said, well, you don't have to. I said, I remember being young and broke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying you are, but can I? She said, sure. Because there is something to agency. Like, don't take a person's agency. When I give, I don't want them to think I'm giving because
We're looking down
look,
on you and
you
we're
look
reaching
broken.
down.
You look broken.
No, it's
No.
it's just the opportunity.
I would even say I have paid for and this is not putting me up there, but I have paid for someone's meal who looked dressed clean and well. Because listen, you don't know what that giving will
Don't
do.
count
It's not
anybody else's
always about the
pockets.
money.
Yeah.
And you never know what people
Sometimes,
going through.
No.
yes, and it's not even about money, y'all. Hear me. The principle is there's a lot of broken rich people around here who haven't had any kindness
No.
given to them. Do you catch what I'm saying? They've always given, but never received. So the whole point is be a being that is just open
Right.
to
Right.
hearing, hey, I need you to be kind to this person
Yeah.
today. That is
Yeah.
it. It could, because you don't know what that small thing will do for that person.
That's
And
To
and
change
the
somebody's
okay,
life.
now here's how it's come back for me. You ready for this?
Yes.
I wish my mama was here.
Oh, boy.
She called me. Okay, my mama is like the grandmother of Laurel. No, let me explain. She's the only person. You remember how back in the day you could have a tab, like you just go somewhere, you get your stuff, and then you pay
Right.
at the end of the month.
Like a credit. Yeah.
My mother, only person I haven't seen, a couple of places in the neighborhood, like in Laurel. They're like, we know Miss Betty, you gonna pay for it, and I'm like, Mom, you got a tab?
It's unheard of in these days.
It's unheard of. Like, but if my mother goes in a place and she's like, oh, I don't, oh, it's like, and actually how she gives, you know why those people do that to her? Mom prays for these owners.
And she tells them.
She prays for them. Like they say, Miss Betty.
What's your name? What's
we're
your son's name? What's your
da-da-da-da-da-da.
daughter's name?
And then there's one restaurant. It's called Mid Atlantic. And when she goes in, y'all, she don't stand in line. Okay, she just walk up and tell them what you want. And one time somebody said, "Why she get to do that?" And the owner said, "She's been praying for my family for over 10 years."
Yeah.
She's and it's,
People and these folks don't have our faith background. And but when mama would tell them she was praying, let me get what's your name? What's going on? Who needs prayer? Look, give me their names and I'm gonna make sure I'm praying for them. And I'm telling you, people it like you said, Pedro, when that situation where you go into people's homes, the walls come down. When you say you're gonna pray for someone, that it brings those walls down, and it's not that you're doing, again, it's not transactional, because mama's heart, she don't need nothing from them, but she just desires and has a heart to want to intercede and to pray and lift her. She's an intercessor, so she looks for that opportunity for those divine appointments.
She looks for it. That's the thing. And I'm like, Mom, can you be careful out here in these streets? And she's like, ain't nobody gonna bother me. And
Exactly.
y'all, I be
God don't give
stressing.
us the spirit of fences,
There you
but
go.
I be stressing.
Okay.
Like, if somebody bother my mama, who mercy.
Yeah,
she for a long time. Your
She
mama-
been doing this for a long time. She has so many children in Laurel.
Yeah.
They're like,
she ain't even thinking about that no more. She's only thinking about, like you said, but just thinking about blessing somebody.
But that's a
that's
hard.
it.
Like, my goodness.
Oh, but the reason I said that, the reason I brought her up is she called me one day. Now remember, I'm out blessing folk, right? Just giving stuff. But let me
Whatever
pay
that
for
looks
this.
like, yeah.
Let me get that for you. I don't know. I was told to do it, so I'm gonna do it, right? And so, Mama calls me. She said, "Antoinette," I said, "Yes, Mama. Do I look homeless?" I said, "What?"
Oh no.
I said, "Mama, what are you talking about? Do I look homeless?" I said, "Why would you say that to me?" She said, "'Cause it was the last 3 times I went to the store or went to eat. Somebody just paid for my stuff." Say, "I got it, ma'am." I said, "Mama, you don't look homeless. Your daughter is doing the same thing for somebody else. So you're just receiving the blessings." Yeah. So I believe the blessings doesn't always come to you. Listen, let me say this.
I believe that too.
I believe I am still, and I will believe this for the rest of my life. The only reason I'm so blessed, I'm being really real, I am still receiving the blessings of my grandfather who loved God earnestly.
Yeah.
Who lived a life, his life, y'all, his name was Abraham Hemingway. He never cheated on my grandmother. He brought his check home. I'm not doing check marks. He was faithful to God and his tithe. He was faithful as an elder. No, he didn't do that. He was a deacon at church. Him and my grandmother put some kids through college. There was a college right in front of their house.
They live right next door, yeah.
Right.
He just lived a faithful life. I believe, and he prayed. I believe that I am still being blessed. I am reaping the benefits of his prayers.
Yeah.
I believe that. There's nothing that nobody could tell me anything different. I believe it.
Yeah.
I can see it because some of the times that I'm like, I'm blessed and I don't deserve it. Like, why is this happening? Oh, okay. Got it. Because it truly, if I'm being real and raw, like my husband, okay, so remember the thing that I posted about him preaching this weekend?
Right. Yeah, we saw that.
So it's getting to the point now that he's stepping on my toes. It's like
deliberately, but
it's like I can't walk after this, right? So Osei was talking about why prayers are not answered, and he was talking about how we need to have a faithful prayer life and we need to cease without praying and the 6 reasons why prayers aren't answered and stuff like that. I believe that I'm still reaping off of my grandfather's prayers. He had his walk was a prayer. Oh my goodness, I could talk forever about that. But kindness. So they say that it's harder to, and I'm gonna stop after this. It's hard. So because this is your thing.
It's our thing.
I know, but you're the expert. It's harder to frown, y'all. It takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I believe it's the same thing in our being of selfishness and kindness. I believe it's easier in your body, like in your body and your being. Well, wait a minute. Well, if I think about the word, okay, so the heart at its core is deceitful.
But at the same, two things can be true.
Two things can be true.
Two things can be true. Where
is it easy to be kind? You
because we're wired for kindness. Because physiologically, the body responds in a positive way.
I was hoping I was going the right place.
No, you're going the right way. Yeah, absolutely. So even though the heart might be deceitful, that's really the subconscious, and there's a lot of lies that we've harbored, and we usually respond and react and make decisions based off the subconscious. That's why Jesus says, "Give me your heart, so I can remove the lies and replace it with my truth." Either way, that's why heaven is not transactional.
Yeah,
that's exactly why, because he's trying to unearth the lies that we've believed. Again, one of the main lies of the enemy is that we have to do XYZ to earn our way into heaven. Jesus came and demolished that.
Because tithing is not going to get somebody into heaven. I need to say that.
Of course not. No.
It's always been about our motivation, and that's why Jesus had to come and die on the cross, so that it will be based on his actions and not ours. all we do is acknowledge and accept and receive his transactions over our lives, and we reap the benefits of what Jesus did in our lives. And we now, because we appreciate and are thankful for what Jesus did, we choose to do seek
these things.
opportunities, divine appointments, to be kind to
Yes.
others. That's being operating in the spirit, not because God says, I love a cheerful giver that gives out of love and appreciation, not out of fear and obligation.
But my tithing, here's the only point that I want to make. My tithing, I want to even say, okay, so I just popped in my head. I know we think about tithing as a monetary thing, but y'all, tithing is, I think the same could be with my time. I tithe 1/10 of my time or more.
Yeah, that's
it's
good.
the
That's good.
overflow.
Right.
So I'm giving from the overflow of my time to people.
Right.
I am not giving out of exhaustion.
So if you're tired, you say no.
I'm tired, listen, I am the one. Listen, I will say no so quick.
Yeah.
My no is on the tip of my tongue, and I am okay with it.
Well, you know you'll know then.
Oh, girl,
Yeah.
you want to know why I know my no? You want to know why I know my no?
Why?
Because I know my anger.
Yeah.
And so my no has to be from a good place. My yes and my no has to be from a good place. My no is not from selfishness. My no is from guarding my cup.
Yes.
Knowing that, there's nothing in the saucer, so I can't give that.
Right.
He's looking his way.
No. I'm thinking,
Okay.
she's looking at me because I'm that same way. Like, I have to say no. It's on tip of my tongue because if I get angry, it's gonna come off. It's just gonna come off really wrong. So I have to. If I'm gonna say no, I'm just gonna say no right away, and it's always on tip of my tongue.
And my yes
because
is a yes, right?
My yes is a yes. If I say yes, I'm doing it no
But if
matter
you're
what.
saying no, your no is you ain't got to feel bad after.
No, I don't feel bad about it either. I'm like,
You're
it's no.
saying no.
Right. And see, a lot of us, again, based on our cultural upbringing and our faith perspective and our faith background, feel guilty
Right.
when we say no.
And I used to, guys. I used to. You know what? You know what it is? I think in Pedro. I hear her call you Pedro. Is it Pedro? Pedro.
Pedro. My mama calls me Pedro.
Okay.
That's what I always tell folks.
I'm gonna say Pedro because I'm not your mama or your honey bop. So Pedro. So look, Pedro. Here's what I find. I find that. Oh, did I lose it? If I say, okay, thank you, Lord. I used to say yes, okay, but I had a traumatic experience of saying yeses, and it went foully wrong. And that is why my yes is so strong now when it is a yes, and my no is so strong now with no guilt. Because I went through an experience of saying yes and losing from my yes when I didn't have anything in a saucer. So I'll tell you the story. I took a job, right? I say nosy. I took a job I shouldn't have taken, but I did it out of, what did I do? It was not out of, it wasn't guilt. It was, they picked me? Wow, they want me to do it? Little me? It wasn't out of, and it was church related. I'll say that. It was a church organization, and I didn't take them through my regular stringent process of should I take on this job. Like usually I'll have them go through a survey. I'll have them I'll give them a questionnaire. It'll say what's the volume, because I knew how much time I actually had.
Yeah, your bandwidth.
And I was clear on my time. But like most church organizations, we say one thing, but we mean another. So what I didn't do, I'm not blaming them because I'm the one that said yes, right?
Yeah,
But
you
what I
agreed to it.
should have done
Yeah.
is I should have taken them through the same thing that I take a corporate group, who's asking me for work, to do work as a contractor, as an accountant. I didn't
Right.
do that. And what happened? Oh, exhaustion.
Burnout.
I don't
Oh,
know if
man.
I slept. Like I say,
It'll be nights where I would leave work and then go meet her at
Wow.
that job and
Wow,
have to bring
Tony.
dinner and over
yeah.
beyond, and it was
And
it
I
was
was like,
exhausting, and I just
I was crying
Yeah.
all the time. Like,
when you get to past that exhaustion
Yeah.
point.
so
and it's-
now it
yeah.
wasn't, nothing was in the saucer. I mean, I'm sorry, nothing was in the saucer, and my cup was running totally dry. And then, due to me working out of exhaustion, well, can you really work well out of exhaustion?
No,
So
you
then
can't.
imagine I said yes to a job that I could not do because I didn't have enough time, because it was really a full-time job, but I had another client. I had several other clients, right? You can't do this. And so then, you know how we are at Venice. And so it's like, well, she can't do the job. I don't know why she took this job. Like, oh, really, y'all? Really, y'all? And, then I found myself feeling like people had did me wrong.
Right.
I felt like they did me wrong. But here's the truth. I did myself wrong.
Yeah.
Because
By
I should have
accepting
said no.
it. Yeah.
And so, I say all this to say that experience is why I have two methods. One is about my yes and my no. I don't say yes unless I can. And the other one is I have this thing, it comes up on my email and it says, I never lose. I either win or learn.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. It was actually Nelson Mandela used to say it. I never lose. I either win or learn. What does that mean? I learned in that, it was tragic to me. I learned in that experience, it's okay to fail. It is okay. It was my first failure that I could think of as an
Right.
adult, and I'm glad that I learned. How about this? Are you ready for this? I'm glad I learned it because somebody else, y'all, had a tragic experience that, stressed them out, and they said yes to something they couldn't do. And guess what? They're still doing it again. So like, you'll hear Osei say, there are several of us out here that you're still having the same year, 20 years. You're living the same year.
over and over and over
Over
again.
and over
Groundhog
again.
Yeah,
Day.
Groundhog Day, Groundhog Year. That's what a lot of
Groundhog
us
Year,
are
there we
living
go.
because we haven't learned from the life lesson that God was trying to reveal to us. And I'm glad you shared that story because that speaks about burnout. That's what burnout is. The definition of burnout is that
I was burned
it was a
out.
stressful situation, but it was a sustained amount of time, and we left it unmanaged. And that's when burnout becomes. And because what God wants us to do is that whatever our hands find to do, the Bible says, do with all your might. And what I hear God saying is that we need to do it with excellence and with joy. If we can't say yes, that I'm going to do this job with excellence and with joy and being honest in my integrity of my schedule, it should be a no. And I believe burnout is the cause. I was going to probably post this later. Is that burnout is the cause of us being irresponsible with our yes. We're being irresponsible because we really want to say no, but we choose to say yes. And like y'all mentioned earlier, is it out of codependency? Is it out of people pleasing?
Mine was people pleasing
So we
because
got-
it was
yeah.
like, you want me?
Yeah, but there's a
And-
funny thing. But the funny thing about people pleasing, because I had a job and when we first moved to Bermuda,
Right.
and I used to work, and I would say yes to everything, and be like, "Oh, can you do this? Yes. Can you do that? Yep. Can you do this? Yes." The moment Tar came, I was like, well, "Look, my wife, she's here. She's not from Bermuda. She's not comfortable. I got to be home more for her." So I start saying no.
Yeah.
The whole attitude they had toward me changed
Mm.
because I went from saying yes to now saying maybe or saying no.
Mm.
And I realized that's when I realized, and then I realized I was burning myself out, and I said I got to take more time for myself. And I
Yep.
was like, because Tyler would tell you, I used to work like a dog. I used to just work to the point where I was just no good to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tyler said, you got to take time for yourself.
Mm.
So I noticed when you start saying no, people start reacting towards you differently too. They
Yeah.
only
Only
like
for
you.
Yeah.
They only
those.
like you. They only like you when you say yes.
Well,
Well,
Come on.
people who are transactional.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
People who are people who are transactional.
Hmm.
I love. Sorry if I'm stepping on toes. Takers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Other people pleasers.
Uh huh. Speak the
Okay.
word. Say the word.
Okay.
Another one.
And opportunist.
Oh yeah, definitely that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So call it all joy.
Count it all.
Count. I'm gonna call it. No, call it. I
okay,
know
go
it means count it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But I'm calling it all joy. I know it says count it all joy, so thank you, baby. But call it in, count it all joy when the taker, user, opportunist shows themselves.
Oh yeah.
Because
Definitely.
now you know who they are,
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And believe it.
right? And you can
yeah.
smile and say, when you can smile and say no, it's a great thing. And because this is what you're doing for the people pleaser who's mad at you for not people pleasing anymore, you're showing them what that looks like, what life looks like on the other side. So actually saying no, it's good for the community. I know some people are like, what are you talking? Just imagine if everybody just only said yes out of their overflow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What it would be like.
Even to family members that's always asking. Say no to them and with a no and be done with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Let's say TT, I don't know, we black folk, TT Ray Ray asked you to do something. And it's like, TT, I love you, baby, but no. And then, okay, so here's the part that my mama says to me. She says, what you doing? I said, I don't care if I made the decision, and I need y'all to hear what I'm saying. If on my schedule it was scratch my head for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was on my schedule. She was like, what you doing? But you ain't doing nothing. Well, I have planned scratch.
I'm unavailable. That's what they hear is I'm unavailable. But we know I could be playing video games. I could be watching the paint dry. We don't have to tell people what we do need to do is stick to the integrity of our calendar. If we know we need time to decompress, and instead of running from work to whoever and putting out their fire, and 9 times out of 10 they call us, or they used to call me because they knew Osei would come and bail them out at the last minute and drop everything for whatever he had to do. It wasn't important. He would come and bail me out of my jam, so I knew I could always call him for the next time. Now when I say no, it exposes. Usually
sorry.
when people would see,
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the last note he said. Oh, y'all, it was so strong. I was like, oh.
well, see, I wasn't. No, well, see, I hope I wasn't.
No,
not being kind.
I'm not accustomed to. I mean, you are walking out this. I would say now. I say you are honestly walking it out more now. Y'all,
Right.
somebody asked him. You could hear it on their voice that they just knew he was gonna say yes, and he was like, "Well, I can hear do it well." He was like, "Oh, well, yeah, Well, I hope this goes well, but no, I'm not available." And he was like,
Wow.
oh. And I was upstairs folding clothes because we have a loft in our bedroom, and I said, "Oh, good Lord!" and saying no to Christians is like cussing.
and church folk, some church folk,
the Christians.
Go ahead, baby.
No, but see, it's human nature is that when you set up, it's really setting up boundaries and what you're going to allow and what you're going to limit. Usually, when we put those things in place, people get angry. This human nature.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's the lesson I had to learn. And it was from a book called Boundaries by Henry Cloud that transformed my life. was that when I learned that I'm not responsible for other people's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
No.
how I share and speak my truth with clarity and with kindness and with the tone and manner and respect that is deserved of people and human beings, how I present my no is up to me. How they receive it is up to them. Once I
Yeah.
learned that, my life changed.
Yeah,
Because
but
I
I
was always
feel
worried
like-
about, if I say no, it's going to hurt their feelings. God
Yeah.
empowered me and said, no, I say, they're responsible for their feelings.
That's right.
But
That's
I
right.
say
Everybody
there was
control
a
their own stuff.
change, and I don't know what it was, y'all. Like he learned it from Henry Cloud years ago, right? I do, because the wife, we see everything, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we see
Yeah.
everything, okay? So our husbands could say, "I only wear white," and you like, dude, what? So I saw him learn it, yes. Then I saw him start speaking about it, yes. Then he wrote the book on it, okay. But something about this year, I don't know what has changed. I'll say, I'm acting like Pedro. Was there a shift? Because I feel like now you are an application of your no. He is an application of kindness to self first. What can you identify? I feel like there's a baseline confidence that has grown in his no that he didn't have before. Is that fair?
See, once I've learned, I that is fair.
Okay.
Because I began to identify, and God was revealing to me my bigger yes. See, the challenge becomes is
okay.
that we can't say no if we don't understand our bigger yes. So every day I'm excited because I know what my bigger yes is, so the no comes off so much easier. Because every time I say yes to you, I'm saying no to my bigger yes. And see, it gets really deep and really spiritual because then we start understanding purpose. Then we start understanding identity. Because if we really flip it, and if we really believe how God looks at us, see, this is the problem. I believe so many of us do not see ourselves as God sees us. And now, if we really looked at us, is that we are the $1 million product. Just like LeBron James looks at himself in the mirror and he knows he can't say yes to everybody, or else
No.
when he puts himself in position to do the thing that he's talented at, play ball, and then he's gone to a whole new level as far as business. This guy's a billionaire. I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact the amount of times LeBron James says yes is probably comparable to the 1,000 no's that he also says. Because he has to protect the investment of him. So if he can have that attitude, we as God's kingdom citizens should also have that attitude. But it's not out of a place of selfishness. It's out of a place of understanding and protecting and being really, see, we could get, church terms, being a good steward. We kind of pigeonhole that into thinking, it's only talking about financial. Okay, let me get my tithe done off and I'm good. But God is like, I need you to have personal stewardship. That means over everything, including your money. I need you to be responsible and to protect my investment in you by saying no, by smiling, and then saying yes. And then I got a framework, the SMILE framework, where I teach on smiling, then saying no with the smile. See, there's a reason why it's a smile, because we have to say no with the smile, because that means every no means I can say yes to my purpose.
Yes.
I'm thinking, wow, that is so deep. Just got me thinking for a minute. I was actually thinking about the book and what you were just talking about, and I don't know why this came across my head, but in the book, which chapter would have been your best? Did you enjoy the most writing? That's the way I was
Anthony mentioned it earlier about being a giver versus a taker.
Okay.
Because it's about the motivation that we do what we do, and this is really a heart issue. God wants to deal with our motives, not what we do or don't do, because again, heaven is not transactional. It's not about you do 10 good things, 100 good things, 1,000 good things, and you only did 900 bad things. Oh, okay, you earn your way. Heaven is not transactional. It was one transaction. Jesus dying on the cross, paying for all our sins. And if we choose to accept that transaction, that's the equation of heaven. We
Right.
choosing to accept his sacrifice for us, his payment for our sins, and we get to reap the benefits because of him. That's the transaction. But the book where I break down being a giver versus a taker, it's about mindset. It's about motivation, right? And we got to make sure we have a giver's attitude, but we need to, again, guard our yes. And every time we say yes, we should be desiring to say yes out of joy, out of excellence, because whatever our hands touch, God says, do with all your might.
All your might, yeah.
So that, and we do it, to me, we do it with efficiency. And this is what God is really working towards me and helping me put something together where every time we say yes, that means God is choosing us in that situation to say yes because it aligns with the gift that God has given us.
Right.
Right.
That means we're gifted to do it. That means we can do it with joy, we can do it with excellence, and we can do it with efficiency because we are gifted in that area. And a lot of times we're so good at a lot of things, but God wants us to only say yes to the things we are great in.
And sometimes we need to say no, and sometimes we need to say no to our own kids.
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the no is for their good, and sometimes the no is for your good. Sometimes sometimes we're saying yes, and we're impeding their progress because we're saying you can't. So I have to.
Right.
But what happens when you're not here on this earth? Like, I feel like I love my mother, but I struggle with, my mother is one of those, she gives out of her cup. Who mercy.
Yeah.
And she's like, y'all say no all the time. and I said, and I'm so happy all the time. And so I said, but I know a lot of people that are unhappy in their yes. I know so
No
many
joy.
people.
No joy.
And it's like, oh, they taking care of this person, and they taking care of this person, they paying this person's bill, and they all family, what? And I'm like, we all know that family, that side of the family where one person, y'all, usually older, is holding up everybody. But y'all, and I pray that this speaks to someone who is a taker from that person. What y'all gonna do when the Lord takes that person? What are you going to do?
Wow.
Get it together now. Start saying no, don't help me.
Being responsible.
While they're here.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when they're gone, when they close their eyes, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I love. His name is David Goggins. And do you know about Goggins?
No, but I was
Heard the
saying.
name.
He's
heard the
awesome, y'all. So I'll just
Yeah.
say he's
He's on
the
another
only
level, yeah.
man that has been in all of the special forces.
Okay.
All of them.
Yeah, he's built
SEAL.
different.
What's the Marine one? He's been a
just
SEAL,
Marines,
Ranger,
Army, yeah.
all of the special ones.
Yeah.
He's been one of all of them.
Navy
all of the
SEALs.
special, field. What'd you
right.
say? Yeah, the special forces. He's been a
Right,
part of all of them. His name is David Goggins. And he says the problem out here is that there's two roads. There's the hard road and there's the easy road. The only reason why we have so many problems today is that we have too many people taking the easy road. If you would take the hard road, the benefits are exponential. And how about we say with kindness? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's hard saying that no. But that no is protecting you, your saucer, and quite frankly, it's helping the other person find out where they're gifted, find out where they're talented, find out where they are. Man, I got that done. Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know I could do that
Yeah.
until I had no choice. You know?
Yeah.
Or
You'll be amazed
Like,
what people can do when they ain't got no.
what you can get done.
Right. All of a sudden, they
Yes.
can find a way to get it done.
Like,
yeah.
oh, you got it done. Oh.
Oh,
you
okay. Oh,
laughing
you
for?
did
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. And see, the Bible says things like every man should carry his own load.
I agree
Right.
with that one.
See,
Yeah,
it's a deeply spiritual principle of being responsible.
Yes.
If we take that load away from that man, we're making him irresponsible. We're empowering his irresponsibility. The Bible says carry one another's burdens. That word burdens means boulders, things that are too heavy for one person to carry alone. That's when life hits you and knocks you on your back, where you lose a loved one, when you lose a job, you got some health challenges. That's when you need God's people and friends to come alongside you and lift you up and walk with you like the
While you're still holding
That's
your
the
boulder.
right, and that's the burdens that he talks.
Well, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
We skipped
because
part.
there's spaces where I can't. There's situations where I can't carry my own knapsack, my
yes.
own load.
You're
I
right.
I need you to help me carry my boulder, but
Right.
but when that life situation is over and we've pieced life back together, then we need to pick up our load.
Yeah.
There's things that God wants us to be responsible for, and see where we got to be responsible to others before ourselves. That's what Galatians 6 is breaking down. Where is the spaces that we are responsible for others to help them carry life's burdens? And then we need to be responsible to ourselves by carrying our own load of the things that we are able to do within our reach and grasp and capacity to do that we could do on our own. Our young son should be able to wash his own clothes. He should be able to get a little job to be able to pay for his cell phone bill. He should be able to learn, how to do his own homework. Those are spaces that our children and young people and young adults can begin slowly but surely, age-appropriate ways to be responsible. Parents are to measure and prayerfully discern when that child can handle the responsibility of taking the dog out, for a walk, taking a bus to get home there and back safely, et cetera, et cetera. So y'all are praying and discerning when should happen at what time, but eventually we need to be empowering our children so that when they become young adults, they can no longer be so beholden to mom and dad,
And
but
leave.
they feel confident and then be able to leave out
Bye.
without being fearful of thinking I'm incapable because mama and dad have been doing all the work for me, so I don't even know how to think this through logically in order to get the results that I need and to continue to be responsible and to really develop confidence.
Yeah.
When we take that away, when we're too nice to our children and our young adult children, we're weakening them.
Or if we're being selfish because we get our esteem through being
I
a
wasn't gonna go there.
parent. I wasn't going to let you stop with this. I get my esteem. I get my everything because when y'all came along, my life ended. And so I get my esteem. I'm not saying y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about some parents. They get their esteem. They get their everything from being a parent. And therefore, I must coddle you and keep you in the nest, because if you're not in the nest, then what am I? And then you get then here go this man trying to find a wife, and then he gets a wife, and then now the wife in that home is an extension of your nest. Have you lost your mind? No, this is not nest and nest. No, that is leave and cleave. That leaving and that cleaving is that's the hardest thing.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't have to be.
I'm ready
doesn't
to
have to
have
be.
a mess now. They can leave right now.
Yeah. Because we've empowered them. Y'all have empowered them and given them confidence to say, I believe in you that you are capable of handling, paying your bills, getting a job, taking care of your responsibilities. We believe in you, what you're saying.
And I like my spouse enough for you guys not to be here. We can maintain ourselves. We like each other.
Mhm.
we have remained in a relationship while we still date. So we
Mhm.
know each other. So when y'all leave, we don't have to reacquaint ourselves, because that's where you learn about the empty nest syndrome. You learn a
Yeah.
lot of parents, a lot of spouses. What do we see? The kids leave and then they get a
And then they
divorce
get divorced. Yep, all the time
because
you
they
see
were
that.
only together because they were like, Lord, just wait for you to get to college. Just wait for you to
Yep.
Ouch,
get to
ouch,
college.
ouch, ouch, ouch,
And
ouch,
I have
ouch,
seen more
ouch.
kids have a breakdown in
Sad.
college because their
Because the
parents had a
got
divorce and they
divorced.
thought everything was fine.
Yep,
I'd
and then the fight
rather
begins.
where
I hope it don't happen to us.
well, y'all
I don't
like
like
and
you, but
love and
I don't like
y'all
you, but
like. Okay, see this.
I don't like you, but I love you.
It's-
And she knows that already. She know my whole thought process on that. She knows my whole thought process on that. I'm sorry, not trying to get off the subject, but
He likes
she
and
knows my
loves
whole.
you,
No, I
girl.
don't like her.
Please.
I
Okay,
don't
don't
like her
start
because
this.
I
It's
don't because
you know what? I think
no,
that's
it's not a hate of like. It's a like of. I say this all the time. I don't like my wife because my wife knows how to push my buttons. I don't like nobody that
Oh,
knows
she
me better
makes you
than I know.
grow.
And
Got it.
I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something that would think. She
Mhm,
knows how to push my buttons, and she knows me sometimes better than I know myself.
Okay,
mhm,
fair.
mhm,
So I don't like her because she knows me too well. Sometimes we're still
I
learning
got
each
it.
other,
I
mhm,
but
got it.
mhm.
she knows me too well. So she bothers me sometimes because sometimes she may push me to do something I don't want to do because she knows how to push that button. So I don't like my wife,
mhm.
But you love her.
I'm doing a
but I
good
love her.
job.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're doing a
And I
great
mean,
job, girl.
yeah.
That means you're
So
doing
that's
what
what
you're
I'm
supposed
saying.
to do.
It's not a bad thing that I don't like her.
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it.
Get it? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Now
get
see
it.
now
I
you got
get
Now
me.
you're
it.
gonna have
Okay.
to write a book on like and love in marriage.
Love and hate.
Love and hate, yeah.
Oh
Mm.
my goodness. But yes, y'all, listen, we have to be kind to ourselves.
Mhm.
We have to teach our kids. Your kids don't do what they see you do. I'm sorry, they don't do what you say. They do what they
Yes.
see.
Mhm.
So if you want kids that are highly productive and that are kind to themselves, you got to be kind to yourself.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That is so
Period.
true.
You gotta
That
be
is
kind to yourself, because if you run yourself ragged, one or two things might actually happen. One kid will follow suit, then the other kid will be like, "I ain't gonna be like them."
Right.
And actually, I
And go the
fall
opposite.
more so on the "I ain't gonna be like them," because I have seen my parents do and do and do and do and do and do and do till exhaustion, and I'm like, I don't know, and I get where they got it from, because they got it from their parents, and then it's a lineage thing. We just keep
passed
we
down,
keep
yeah.
creating
a generational.
generations of
Yeah.
selflessness, and thinking that self-care is selfish. But I'm glad that we're coming out of that.
Yeah. And
Yeah, our kids are like that now because, like, for myself, when I come home from work, I have a decompression time, and
mhm.
when I come home, like, even if I get home right at dinner, and I know I don't like to eat as soon as I walk in the house because I haven't really completely decompressed. So even if I get home right at dinner time, Tower would say, "You're gonna eat?" No, I'm. Give me about 15 minutes and then I'll eat. But the kids will still eat. But like
Mhm.
the kids know that, so I think the kids, like my kids, and Tyler will tell you, my kids, they know how to go to their rooms and just like to just relax or just to decompress themselves from
Mhm.
school. When they come home from school, they know how to just
Because they've
self
seen
care
it.
for a little while. They see us do it. They
Yeah.
see me do it. They see Tara do it. Like they see us doing the podcast, and then after that, they say, "Okay, now I can bother mommy and daddy." Or if they say, "Give me 10, 15 more minutes," okay, then like we tell them, "Give us 15 minutes, and then you can come bother us." Like so, we're teaching them from now by, like you said, through our actions of self
Mhm.
care. Because
Mhm.
I definitely believe in that. Because if I don't self care, I'm no good to my wife. I'm no good to myself. I'm no good to
Mhm.
my children. So I
And
have
then
to
you go
make
to work and we make a decision, bad decision
right.
we never would make.
Well,
It's just
right.
a trickle down effect.
We're
Yeah.
work and we're working home. There's one thing I always tell people, and I know it's the
Mhm.
hardest thing to do for me personally. I'm two different people.
Hmm.
When I walk out that door, I'm work page, and when I walk through the door, I'm home, Pedro.
Mm.
Neither one costs.
I
I
love it.
don't cost. I
Yeah.
don't cost. And Tyler will tell you. And I had to work to get to this
Yeah.
because I
Mhm,
used to bring
mhm.
work in home, and I used to have be
Uh-uh.
out at work and dealing with home issues, be at home and dealing with work issues. But what? Were you saying something?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say.
No, he's stepping on my
learn.
toes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to learn. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stepping on your toes. I'm sorry. You have to because I had to learn to separate the two.
Mhm,
So I
mhm,
don't go to work and talk about nothing about home, and then when I'm home, I
mm.
don't talk nothing about work.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm two different people. Tyler would tell you. Tyler used to get mad at me. So how was work? It was good. What you mean it was good? It was. What did you do? I just went to a couple of houses. What did no? I for that. HIPAA. I can't
Mhm.
talk about it. And that's how I got around that. I can't talk about it. But it helped our relationship
It
because
does.
I'm different, and I can function better by being two different people. But if it's the weirdest thing, I'm functioning better being two different people than being
Mhm.
one because I'm self caring myself by doing that.
You cut it off. You're
Yeah.
allowing yourself to cut it off. You're
And I'm
allowing your
mentally,
spouse to
yeah,
be your spouse and not your therapist because of what happened
I
at work.
because if I
Yeah.
call him and tell everything that's happening at work, she gets mad, and now she's mad at people that she don't even know.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
she's stressing.
Girl.
Yeah.
She's stressing, and she's this. And if that person calls me, she's like, "Why they calling you for?" You
Yeah.
know, like
What they want? Didn't they
Yeah.
bother you enough
Well,
today?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly,
Right.
exactly. So you have to learn to self care. If you don't self care, be kind to yourself, then you're not gonna be able to function in this world.
That's the truth.
Yeah. And yeah, that's
That's what I'm
being
getting
kind. That's being kind to you and honoring and respecting your house and your spouse by
Yes.
cutting it off. And that's the first thing I coach people and encourage them when work is over, turn off your whatever notifications are from work, cut them off.
Yeah,
That's the
I do
first
bad.
thing.
I'm bad at overworking. Just so you know, I'm not no, I'm not perfect. This is
Your
where
area of growth.
this is my area of growth
Yeah.
because I work from home, Tar.
Right.
Oh,
So it's hard.
So
okay.
Yeah, right.
and
That's hard.
sometimes when Osei comes home, I'm still in work mode. He's like, "Baby," I was thinking, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." I'm still working, and he's in home mode, and I'm like, "I got an hour and a half left. Don't talk to me." Like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, He's like, "Baby, are you focusing?" But I gotta thank you for the reminder because I gotta get better at. We have this thing that whoever comes in the house last has to find the other to say, to hug them, kiss
greet
them,
them, yeah.
greet them,
Maybe say that
and then
in the
you go do whatever you gotta do to go decompress. But sometimes his decompress is he wants to chat a little, and it's okay. And I can do better. I can stop. And that was hard to say.
Yeah.
Stop. I
No.
like to work. I like to work. That's my problem.
No.
I like to work.
I know she works from home. She does a lot at home, but she's just as bad because I come home and if she's doing a flyer or doing something, I'm trying to talk, and she's looking at something, she totally ignore me, and I'm like,
Tar, don't you feel like why you bothering
give me 2
me?
minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like,
I
I'm
be
in my
like,
decompress mode
don't you
now.
see I'm
Okay?
busy? Does
Yeah.
my face or my body tell you that I want to talk to you right now?
Right.
I
Oh,
don't
but when
like
she's
it.
ready to talk,
Just
I
leave
gotta
me
drop
alone.
everything. But
Uh-oh.
when you want to talk, I gotta drop everything. No, so let's
Oh my
start now.
goodness.
Uh-oh.
All right, now let's not get started.
But
Okay,
we got to learn balance.
yeah, you gotta learn balance.
That's my
the
area
key.
of growth. I
the
struggle
key.
because when I'm in it, the
Oh,
thing is,
great.
when I'm engrossed in something, I'm in it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
I'm looking at too.
That means
It's
you're engrossed
bad.
in everything because women. I'm about to say
Yeah, careful.
Duh, here we
some,
go.
Some women.
You
not
wanna
all.
fight?
Some.
most women are always engrossed.
You know
in
what?
something.
When
They
you
just constantly just like they're just constantly engrossed in something.
let me tell you something that left me maybe. You know what I think about when I think about Pedro? What is that game? I'll say that it's an old. I don't know if it's Atari. It's an old Sega, and it was like the two guys are like this on both sides, and they're like challenge, and they're just sitting there like this.
Like
What is
Mortal
that?
Kombat. or something?
Yes, Mortal Kombat. Every time you make a comment like that, it's like challenge. I'm like, oh, he's starting again. Here we go.
Mhm, mhm.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
maybe it's the COVID got my brain working in overdrive.
Oh, COVID.
So,
It's COVID again, Tara. It's
There you go.
I
COVID.
hear him.
It's
I hear
COVID.
him. Got you all confused.
I
Oh
ain't
my
confused.
goodness.
I'm seeing clearer than ever.
Mm.
I'm not confused. That's one thing I'm not. I'm not confused.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say it was making me confused. I just said it's got my brain working. Notice the difference.
Mhm.
But honey, do you have any like last like comments about
Oh yeah,
kindness?
that's all. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I want. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
want to ask
you
one.
got. Go ahead.
I want to ask one thing about nice guys do finish last, and then
Mm,
uh, and then talk about
Cause they
it was
do.
like
Yeah.
Don't nobody want a nice guy.
This is a deep
Oh, they don't.
spiritual principle that I've experienced.
Oh,
And see,
thank
this is what happens. Is that when we? This is why.
Did you just say a thug?
Well, see what I hear Tara saying, and a lot of women saying is that Pedro, they want us to be able to handle our business. Right. This is the key. Is that sometimes when we do things as nice guys, we're banking on whoever we do it for will turn around and advocate for us later and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
oh no, well, Osei did this and he deserves this. And instead of us taking the opportunity to speak up for ourselves and what we believe we are qualified for and should receive
Right.
tangibly, we should advocate for ourselves. That's why I say nice guys do finish last, because when we're waiting for someone else to speak up for us instead of speaking up for ourselves, that's when it becomes bitterness and frustration, because when that person or that group does not speak up for ourselves, then it starts calling into question, well, why did I do all of that for you? Then again, we get into codependency. I don't feel good unless you affirm me. Then we get into a really dangerous, delicate situation, because if they choose not to advocate or lift us up or acknowledge what we've done, we feel defeated, we feel deflated, we feel less than. And my challenge is that we need to be kind to ourselves. And when we believe the opportunity is for us, we need to speak up and give ourselves a voice and put our name bring our chair to the table and have a seat and
Right.
say, hey, I believe I'm capable. I believe I can do this job well. Again, because we know our purpose, we know our gifting, and that we know that we can be the solution to to the problem of that job or company. And if they don't choose me, that's their loss.
Yeah.
That's when we can be kind. And so what I say, nice guys do finish last, but kind ones rise to the top and are sustained there. That's my goal for the next book, is what I talk about, the story of Joseph. His life defines that his kindness took him to the top and sustained him there. Then he was in position of influence to turn around and not only save his whole family, but to save the entire nation and really God's people. So it gets really deep and it gets really expansive, and exponentially the growth principle is there. But we need to choose to be kind and not nice, and trust that kindness, when we do things for others without obligation and without expecting a reward, that's when God can elevate us.
wow. Yes.
Wow.
When is that book coming out?
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's really what I'm going to. The story of Joseph, what his life will be, what I'm writing my future dissertation on. When I start my PhD program, that's what it's going to be all focused on. It's going to tie in spiritual gifts. It's going to tie in kindness, and it's going to tie in purpose. That's the goal for the next book.
Gotcha,
You know,
gotcha.
Tara, this is a you and me conversation real quick. I think hearing him say that, I was having a moment. I don't know if when you look at this lady, you'll see my face go, because I had a moment and I think I figured out why women like thugs. You
Go ahead.
ready?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Because they're decisive and clear. I didn't say it was good.
Yeah.
They're decisive and clear. You know where you stand.
Yeah.
You know where you don't. You know what he ain't and gonna do.
Right.
He'll sit your butt down because that it's clear. Women like strong men. I didn't say it was right, y'all. Don't write them and say no. Hear me out. But women don't like, and I can think of a man that I dated that was nice. I can think of several that was nice. And yeah, nobody likes a nice guy because nice men unfortunately are ran over.
Yeah, and passive
And
and not clear. That's the real
passive
challenge,
and-
is that we're
Yeah.
not clear.
Yeah.
And kindness is clarity, and
Yeah.
clarity is
So it might be
kindness.
distorted, like the nice guy might have actually been better for you than the thug, but
Yeah.
but you liked you again. I'm not saying go out and get a thug. No. What I think a kind guy is someone who is clear. Is he brings the kindness of the nice guy. Because he's,
How you
he's
treat-
kind,
how they
how
treat
he
people.
treats you.
Yeah.
But he brings the clarity of the thug. Because
Yeah.
it's clear on where he stands and where he is. You know where his, what is it? Let your yes be yes
don't
and
have
your
no
no be no.
Yeah.
There's no question on where
Yeah.
he stands, and I think you are totally more attractive, even now more than to me than when we first met. I mean,
Yeah.
you're awesome, but you become even more attractive the clearer your no and your yes has been, because the clearer your no has been, I am a part of your yes.
Exactly. That is, see, that Pedro, that's the key. Is that our, when we become kind guys, see, we don't have to lose character in order to be clear. That's where I think that's where the whole thug mentality is. We think we have to be rude and abusive, but we can be clear and kind at the same time, and decisive at the same time. That's where it gets confused. Is some women, they want that protection, they want that security of the quote unquote thug, but at the same time they desire and they deserve the kindness and the compassion and the clarity of what we are as God's men should be.
I'm sorry to
What'd you
laugh,
laughing at?
because if I'm like that to her, the first thing out of her mouth is, "Why you talking to me like that? I'm your wife." But I'm sorry.
So Ase has kindly put me in my place. Let me explain. He'll be like, now before you say yes, when I was having struggles with saying yes to too many things, he's like, before you say yes to that, I need you to consider da 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 da. Da. I think that's the clarity, the helping your mate be clear in their decisions. And honestly, where he really helps me is my family.
Right.
Because that's where I get weakest, where my no be all,
Right.
and so that's my weak point. And listen, in relationships, we are to help each other. He's more willing to allow me to help him now. He wasn't before, but he's more willing to listen to my ideas. He considers me wise.
Yeah.
So he says, all right.
You are wise. That's your gift. But either way, go
Let
ahead.
me listen to her. Let me roll my eyes. Just give it to me. Go ahead. Just talk. Go ahead. So, he doesn't have to be all like, oh, wise one, what do you have to say? No, I don't need that. I just need him to listen. Like,
right. Not try to figure it out. That's the space that our spouses need, Pedro, that just to have a sounding board that we're attentive to them, to let them voice and verbalize where they're at, what the situation is, so that they can hear themselves say it in an accepting, non-judgmental space, so that they can come to the solution. And if they need our help, they'll ask. That's the space we just got to give them. And that, I think a lot of husbands will win, as opposed to focus on, I bring, the car is fixed and, the money is in the bank and that kind of thing. But if we continue to find new and more opportunities to give them that, what Stephen Covey calls the psychological air, in which to verbalize and express and to open up their heart to us, that's when they feel safe and then they feel secure. And then on top of that, then we can handle our business, doing what we need to do, taking care of the bills, make sure that money is in the account when it needs to
There
be.
you go. Here's the funny part about that. So, like, if my wife comes to me and she's saying something, do you? I'm talking to you, OC. Say, when she says something to you, do you ever get that when she says it in a way that she's already made up her mind, but she just wants to throw it? She just wants to see what you think.
Sure.
And then but then they get mad because I'm like, Okay, you already have your mind made up. Why you ask? You just want my opinion, or you just want to bounce it
They
off of me?
just wanted, to, and it took me forever. It took me forever to finally not figure out and try to come up with the solution and to
Exactly.
try to,
That's I'm
and
like
that's
that.
where it's, and we gotta make a deliberate effort to ask questions. What is it you need? Is there
Yeah,
anything you need? No, I just need you to be heard, just to be heard. And I'm telling, we make things too complicated for ourselves because we go
yeah,
into fixed mode, but we just need to be in safe mode.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
I
yes.
like that.
And that's modeling kindness for them. And our relationship
I like
has
that.
really, every time I've done it, Pedro, it's always been beneficial. Because she feels heard. She and it is. I'm not indirectly minimizing her by trying to bail out and trying to jump in and fix the situation. I'm not minimizing her ability to handle it herself.
Yes. Or giving her the opportunity to handle it herself. Because if you know she's
Right.
doing it, then let her do it. Don't you? Know, we're not to fix everything.
Yeah. I
You
mean
know,
that.
we're
If
not
nothing else,
to,
any husband who listens to
like you
this,
can, if you
if you
know
don't
the
hear
strength
anything
of your
else,
wife, and you say, you know what, babe, you are strong enough to handle that. Just do what you feel
right,
is best. Handle your business
to
and just
affirm them,
leave it at
that's
that.
affirming. Yeah, that's powerful.
Affirm them and say,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I believe in you. Just do what you got to do. Whatever you choose, that's good enough for
Hmm.
me. It's the right
Yeah.
decision.
And whatever the
Even if it goes
results are,
wrong, I'm still with you.
right there it is. And then once they
I'm
know
still with
that,
you. No matter the results, I'm still with you. We fix
yeah,
if it don't go the way you want, we fix it and then we move on. But I'm still
yeah,
with you. But we live and learn by what we do day by day.
yeah.
So
I can't think of anything kinder that we could do. Again, we talk about kindness. I can't think of a kinder thing to do for our spouse, especially as husbands, that we could affirm them, and whatever the results are, we handle it
support them.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh man.
definitely. So on that note, we want to thank you guys so much because you already pretty much said the gist of your book with
Hmm.
everything else when we was talking when I was actually about the other thing.
Right.
But we want to
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. We definitely
Yeah.
will be talking to you again
Mhm.
and hitting you guys up off and on throughout. I know we get busy sometimes and we get tied up and but I'm bad for that. So I'll be the first to admit that I'm bad at keeping contact with people.
Right.
But we want to thank you guys so much
You
for doing
still
this.
owe me a list
Oh right.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got to remind. Okay,
Okay.
see.
for the baby,
Hmm.
Yeah.
whichever one it is.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
forget what I say yes to.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I didn't even think. I forgot about that for the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, we'll send you the list. But we want to
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us today again. By kindness defined.
Hmm.
Of these things.
Right, we had a 4 part
It's been
series that was supposed
wonderful.
to be 4 parts, but it ended up being like a broken up. But hey, it all worked out.
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
worked. It's just one of those things. Um, I'm surprised we made it this long because my nose is about to be like.
I don't know how y'all are doing this. I
Yeah.
need you to understand that when we had it, I was like, I don't. What am I gonna say? I feel terrible.
I was drinking. You didn't too much. I
I
was
was
drinking.
I
Drinking
was
and
gonna
drinking.
come on here and say, "I. What do you want from me today?" I could not
Right.
have done it. Y'all are amazing because y'all are beasts. It's that parent thing where you
Yeah.
go when you have nothing. It's
Yeah,
that.
I truly
Woo!
believe God gives y'all an extra portion of
I do.
strength
I
and
guess we
energy
believe
Definitely.
that.
and
I mean, on that,
sustainability. That
oh yeah, because
yeah,
real quick on that, the first night when I realized I had it, I came home and I took a shower and I was out. It was like 8 o'clock. I'm a little bit early like that. My
yeah,
mom she wasn't feeling well, but she had to deal with the kids, make sure they got
Oh
her
my
bed and
goodness.
everything, right? But then
God
last
bless
night
you.
she paid it back to me because last night this chick 8 o'clock she in bed and I went to the kids and ate and was put to bed.
Yeah.
So
mm,
it works itself out.
It does.
It
yeah,
works itself out.
It does.
But yeah, you're right. Like we have no time to be tired.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We don't. 'Cause
yeah.
if we act like we're tired, somebody's gonna do something in this house and
Oh no,
we're gonna
oh
wake up and be
no.
And
like,
the
what?
kids hungry and they got to eat.
They're like, you weren't around. We had to make it do.
We made a
But look,
decision, and
my son did that this morning. I made the boy an egg omelet, right? And I
Mm.
went upstairs and I'm like, well, I'm gonna come down and make me a couple of eggs. I come back down. This I don't even want to say the word, but
This
this
boy.
boy has
Mm.
made the other 3 eggs, and I'm like, dude, did you not think that I wanted to eat some eggs? Oh, I got hungry still.
He's hungry.
He's
Is he
young man.
13, 12, 13?
He 14.
Yeah, oh, he hungry,
he's
hungry.
starving.
He's
starving.
growing.
As soon as that plate is empty, he's hungry again.
I said, dude, when you come to me, say, hey, Dad, I want these eggs. Can I have them, or do you?
His hunger, his hunger won the, it was hunger or hunger or, hunger won.
No, I said, next time you make your own food, I'm not even gonna make you breakfast. If you can make your own breakfast, why am I making it?
Right.
He
That was-
told on himself. See, look what he did.
But guess what? That's us being kind.
Yeah, we're empowering them.
As we empower, I didn't empower him. No, I should have told him, welcome. I should have said, Peter, make breakfast for you and your sister.
Mm.
Because me and Tara actually was still a little under the weather.
Right.
He could have made breakfast for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
So
capable.
He's very capable, we're hearing.
Definitely.
So now next time I'm like, dude.
He told on himself.
Right. He said, I'm ready for it now, Dad.
Next time he's like, I'm
I
hungry.
didn't know I'm saying I'm ready for it, but what I did tells you I'm ready.
Hey, you know what I would do? You know what I would do, Pedro? I would say, next time he's like, Dad, what we eating? I'm like, I'm hungry too. But what you about to make for us?
You're right. That's just what I'm gonna do next time.
I'm feeling some eggs.
I can't
Oh, you're so sweet to come up here and ask Daddy what he wants to eat. Bless the Lord.
Rice and everything.
I told him yesterday we're gonna teach him how to make rice. I told him that yesterday. I said, I'm gonna teach you how to make rice.
I love it.
Yeah. They'll complain about it now, but they'll be like, man, it really is a subtle confidence
And his
that gets
wife
built
will
up
be
in them.
happy.
Yeah.
He doesn't complain. He actually likes to learn. He doesn't complain. He's actually, my kids are weird.
Yeah.
Because this man right here is spoiled. But
Yeah,
I am
spoiled
spoiled
rotten,
too.
yeah. I'm spoiled rotten.
I am spoiled too.
I don't think
say
about food.
does not cook.
I'm spoiled too, so I can't.
But here's how I love. He doesn't cook, but he doesn't expect me to cook all the time.
Oh, no.
Because some men that don't cook, they're like, well, you should be like,
No.
I'm tired.
You gotta be smart out here. You gotta be smart.
See, because I was divorced, I had to learn. That's one thing I learned. One of my ex mother-in-laws did is I wasn't working for like 2-3 weeks, and I walk around the house doing nothing. And she said, you know what? She was from Honduras. She said, you know what? I'll be, if you're gonna be a lazy son of a gun, get in this kitchen and learn. And she put me in the kitchen and she told me how to cook. That's the best, because being a single father for a while and back and forth, I was always able to feed myself. I was always, so like if I come home and Tara's not feeling well, I'll cook for myself. Sometimes I have to fight her. I said this before. I have to fight her to make my own food. I'm like, I gotta just sit and she's like, no.
Right.
Tar. Sit your butt down for the women that don't have it. Sit down. Sit down.
Thank you, because literally you'll fight with me, Tony. She would literally fight me, be like, I want to make you something. I'm like, Tar.
Tar, is it edible? Is it edible?
If it's edible, I got the next time I just sit my butt down.
Thank you, because I'm like, why are you arguing?
It tastes good. Tar, does it taste good?
It tastes good. Pedro says,
Girl, what's your problem?
oh,
Sit down. Next time, think about me. I'm sitting down for Tony.
I definitely
I'm gonna
will.
tell her that. I'm gonna say, you know what? Sit down for Tony.
Yeah.
Yes. You just thank you. Oh my goodness. Like I say, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us and stuff. We really enjoyed this.
Yeah, we always have a great time.
Oh, we
It's been
definitely
an
have a great
awesome
time with you guys.
experience. Wow.
Definitely. But just hold on a minute. We'll be right back.
Okay,
Yeah.
And we're gonna just.
hold on. Let me just.
Oh wait, we didn't pray.
Well, let's pray, because just to end it
We
out.
didn't pray. I'm so.
Oh, sure.
You know, we got right into it and everything. I'm so sorry. We gotta pray.
Yeah. Go
So you
for
wanna
it.
pray us out?
You want? Sure, I'll pray. Father in heaven, I want to thank you for this opportunity to come on to a podcast of our new brother and sister that we have met and we have gotten to know and love and appreciate. Father, I pray blessings upon them and their babies, and as they recover from this virus, help them to get 100% back on their feet. And Father, everybody who hears this, help each one of us to continue to choose to be kind to ourselves first. Fill our cup so that we have something to give to others. Help us to find ways to continually fill that cup, to place ourselves in reception of what you have for us, so that when we give, it's given out of a place of joy and a place out of excellence, God. Help us to not be fearful, and to want to look for opportunities where we can do things not out of obligation, but out of choice, out of appreciation, and out of a joy to want to serve and bless others and to be kind. So, Father, we thank you for the kindness you've shown to us. Help us to seek and be attentive to the divine appointments that you bring to our day, our week, or whatever that looks like, to be a blessing to others. So, Father, bless us now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 All right. We want to thank
Well,
everybody
thank
for
you, guys.
joining us. We want to thank everybody for joining us again on the God is Real and Raw podcast.
That's right.
As we always end, we just want to say, if you feel impressed to donate or to bless us with our to help us with our ministry, especially with
right.
Tara with her on time single that she has out now on Bandcamp.
That's right.
As
And it will be live
bandcamp.com.
everywhere on August
It
5th.
will be live August 5th.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still go on Bandcamp and you can pay either $3 US or £3 UK and help support it. Will help her do her EP that she's working on now. But if that's not the way you want to go, you can always go to Cash App, and in the UK it's I always say pound sign, but I realized the pound sign could be the hash.
Yeah.
So the UK pound sign, God is land.
The UK money sign.
Yeah, the UK money sign,
Yeah.
God is land. So pound sign, God is land
Mm.
for the UK. And for the US is the dollar sign, Real and Raw Podcast.
That's right.
And then PayPal is at Goddess Ministry. And that's PayPal. If you have any questions, or if you want to come on, if you want to talk, if you want to be a part of the show, you can contact us at thegoddessministry@gmail.com. And we just want to say thank you so much for joining us again. My name is Pedro.
And my name is Tara.
And this is the God is Real and Raw podcast.
Podcast.
Peace.
Peace.